Chapter 1241. Perfect and upgrade the mystic formula. Bao Meili, Wang Daha, and Huang Xiaohe were all stunned. Every mystic formula was unique. How could one perfect it? Only those who had reached the connecting heaven realm would be able to create their own mystic formula. Only those monstrous geniuses would be able to find another way. Asking them to perfect another mystic formula that they weren't familiar with was no different from creating a new one. Could it be that Yang Wu had such ability? They didn't think that Yang Wu would covet their mystic formula. Yang Wu was so powerful, his mystic formula would definitely be of a high grade. Therefore, they told their mystic formula to Yang Wu. Bao Meili cultivated a mystic formula called Overlapping Flames Mystic Formula, which was a peak minor saint level flame mystic formula. Wang Daha and Huang Xiaohe both cultivated an incomplete high-grade saint art called the Hum Ha-Chi Ripple Art. It was a dual cultivation saint art, and once mastered, the two of them would be able to unleash an unimaginable battle prowess. After Yang Wu sent them away, he integrated the two mystic formulas into the supreme 9 mystic formula. Very quickly, 2 complete saint formulas were deduced. The Overlapping Flames mystic formula was deduced to the middle grade saint formula. It had been upgraded from the 5th layer realm to the 7th layer realm. Every time it reached the 7th layer realm, its firepower would increase by several folds. It was enough for Bao Meili to cultivate to the Star Rune realm. Moreover, it had a wonderful effect on her fire control. It was because this mystic formula was extremely suitable for alchemy that she was able to persevere until now. The Hum and Ha Ripple formula was a different kind of mystic formula. It was a combination of mystic formula and combat technique. After Yang Wu perfected it, he discovered that it had been upgraded to the top grade saint formula. Wang Daha and Huang Xiaohe would definitely be able to break through to the Star Rune realm after cultivating it. The 3 of them were willing to stay behind and follow Yang Wu. Yang Wu would treat it as giving them a peach and wouldn't treat them unfairly. After Yang Wu perfected the 2 chants, he directly transmitted the chants back to them through voice transmission. Bao Meili, who was meditating in her room, suddenly heard the transmission and her body quivered. She thought that someone was spying on her. Yes, young master. Bao Meili steadied her mind and concentrated on the chants that Yang Wu passed to her. When she finished listening, she was completely stunned. Beautiful. Have you memorized the chant? Yang Wu's voice sounded again. Bao Meili came back to her senses and said respectfully, "Young master, please pass it on again." Yang Wu repeated the message once more and stopped talking. Bao Meili completely memorized the incantation and said emotionally, "Thank you, young master." Thank you, young master. She relied on the profound formula to get to where she was today, and it was incomparably important to her. She didn't expect that Yang Wu would really improve it and upgrade it. She was so moved that she was in a mess. She secretly thought, if young master peeps at me, I won't mind. When Wang Daha and Huang Xiao heard Yang Wu's voice transmission, their reactions were similar to Bao Meili's. They were so excited that they couldn't stop thanking Yang Wu. Their loyalty to Yang Wu skyrocketed. If they followed such a master, their future would be smooth. With the complete saint formula, they wouldn't be far from breaking through to the Star Rune realm. Fusing these 2 profound formulas only increased the absorption speed by 5 thousandths. It seems that the lower the grade of the profound formula, the worse the effect. But this time, the main purpose is to perfect their profound formula and make them more loyal to me. There's no need to worry about this. Yang Wu muttered to himself in the room. That night, he took out the many universe rings that he had obtained in the past and took out the profound formula scrolls from them. He then fused these profound formula scrolls into the Regal 9 profound formula. No matter how small a mosquito is, it's still meat. Even if it's a general level profound formula, I'll still fuse it. As a large number of profound formulas were fused into the Regal 9 profound formula, the speed at which it absorbed energy from the outside world slowly increased. Yang Wu's divine court also had scrolls after scrolls of profound formula scrolls. The profound formula scrolls that were fused into the regal 9 profound formula had been perfected and upgraded. His soul was comparable to a scripture soul. Even if he destroyed all the profound formula scrolls and profound formula scrolls in his hands, he could still make new ones. It would not be a problem for him to establish a force. The night passed quickly. After a simple wash, Yang Wu headed to the mission hall. The mission hall issued tens of thousands of missions. There were missions that had been accumulated for thousands of years, and there were also missions that were issued in the recent month. The lowest level mission was a heavenly pill level mission, and the highest was a divine level mission. Now, Yang Wu had used 2 pill recipes in exchange for the opportunity to establish a branch in the Yang family city. For the time being, he didn't need to worry about points. Right now, he was preparing to become a divine alchemist. Before that, he had to further improve his alchemy skills before attempting to refine divine pills. After Yang Wu arrived at the mission hall, Chao Jifei and Miao Miao also arrived one after another. "Boss, what mission are you going to pick this time?" Miao Miao asked. "There's no rush. Let's take a look first," Yang Wu replied. Chao Jifei said from the side, "In my opinion, Yang Wu, you could take on some missions that no one is interested in. You can even solve the dark corpse poison curse, so the others shouldn't be too difficult." Yang Wu shook his head and said, "I'm not taking on missions for the sake of completing them. I just want to consolidate my alchemy Dao." "Boss, you're already so powerful. How are you going to consolidate it? Could it be that you want to become a divine alchemist?" Miao Miao asked. Yang Wu smiled, but didn't say anything. Everything was understood without words. Miao Miao and Chao Jifei both saw this and were shocked. Although it seems like there's only a step between a saint alchemist and a divine alchemist, there's a huge gap. If you can't reach the heaven-piercing realm, you can't become a divine alchemist. "This is what my master said," Chao Jifei said softly. She didn't think that Yang Wu could become a divine alchemist with his current strength. No matter how high Yang Wu's talent was, his strength still couldn't catch up. "Don't worry, I have a plan. I'm going to take on missions." Yang Wu nodded and quickly took on missions. The missions he chose were all extremely difficult saint-level missions, such as the 6th Revolution Sacred Pill, Resurrection Pill, and even Astral Overlord Pill. They were all missions that not many saint alchemists dared to accept, or missions with extremely low success rates. Yang Wu took on 100 missions in one go. The number of pills required for each mission was different. The total cost was as high as 20 million high-grade saint stones. It was comparable to a mid-grade saint vein. "Yang Wu, don't be impulsive. If you don't complete the mission, your contribution points will be deducted," Chao Jifei said. "It's fine. These 100 missions are just a warm-up," Yang Wu replied. When the people in the mission hall heard Yang Wu's words, they all sucked in a breath of cold air. 100 missions were just a warm-up. Wasn't he bragging a little too much? Boss is indeed the boss. Even his tone is so domineering, Miao Miao said in admiration. He had seen Yang Wu refine pills before and knew that Yang Wu's alchemy skills were very high. It wasn't something an ordinary saint alchemist could compare to. 100 missions seemed like a lot, but it was nothing to his boss. "Saint Master Yang Wu, you shouldn't take missions like this. You should take another mission after completing one," a kind alchemist reminded him. Saint Master Yang Wu is young and full of vigor, but don't bite off more than you can chew. They felt that Yang Wu was too arrogant. Even if he wanted to show off in front of Chao Jifei, there was no need for him to do this. "Little big brother is so amazing. You took on 100 missions in one go. As expected of my man." Yao Miao Miao's voice came from outside the hall. Her voice was like honey. When it fell into everyone's ears, their bodies went soft. "Little sister, I'll say it again. Don't make this kind of joke again. Otherwise, don't blame me for being impolite," Yang Wu said in a deep voice. Yao Miao Miao saw that Yang Wu was angry. She restrained her playful appearance and obediently walked to Yang Wu's side. She blinked her big watery eyes and said, "I'll listen to you." Looking at her appearance, she was like an obedient little wife. It was very lovable. The alchemists all around stared with wide eyes. They were extremely jealous of Yang Wu in their hearts. Yang Wu also had a headache when it came to this little sister. Although she looked to be in the prime of her youth, she was actually only a little younger than him. However, she had already reached the dragon transformation realm. Moreover, she had suppressed Meow Meow during the alchemy conference. It was enough to see how talented she was in alchemy. Meow Meow loved beautiful women the most. However, he didn't dare to be impudent in front of her. It was clear that her methods were not ordinary. Moreover, she had a very strong background. This arrogant little girl is only obedient in front of boss. If it were any other man, she would only look up to the sky. Meow Meow thought to himself. Meow Meow had once pursued Yao Meow Meow for a period of time. He still had some understanding of her. He was beaten up quite badly by her bodyguards. In the end, he could only leave dejectedly. Chao Jifei also pretended not to see Yao Meow Meow. She didn't want to lower herself to the same level as this little girl. After that, Chao Jifei, Meow Meow, and Yao Meow Meow also chose their own missions. Chao Jifei chose some unpopular missions. Yang Wu curiously asked her why she chose these missions. Her response was also very domineering. I can easily complete the other missions. Only these missions are challenging. Eldest senior sister is indeed eldest senior sister. You're so bold. Meow Meow flattered. Taking on these unpopular missions can indeed improve one's understanding of alchemy. However, it's also easy to go astray and not be able to peek into alchemy. Yao Meow Meow retorted. Alchemy is an all-encompassing thing. No matter if it's popular or unpopular, it's all about alchemy. If you want to go further on the path of alchemy, you need to have an open mind. Otherwise, you can forget about achieving great success in your lifetime. Chao Jifei calmly replied. Yao Meow Meow wanted to refute. After thinking about it, she faintly smiled and said, Senior Sister Chao is truly wise. In the future, I will have a greater sense of accomplishment when I surpass you. Even if you have a spirit medicine body, you can forget about surpassing me in this lifetime. Chao Jifei looked directly at Yao Meow Meow and said very strongly. Yao Meow Meow was frightened by Chao Jifei's sudden, imposing manner. She hid behind Yang Wu and said, Little big brother, Senior Sister Chao is so fierce. Jifei is right. You should learn more from her and strive to catch up to her in the future. It's better to be less opportunistic. Yang Wu replied and took the mission card to register. Yang Wu took 100 saint-level missions in one go. This news quickly spread throughout the main altar and caused a heated discussion. Chapter 1242. There were normal and difficult saint-level missions. Yang Wu had received 100 saint-level missions of different levels, and most of them were extremely difficult to refine. Many of them were missions that other alchemists didn't even dare to ask about. When Yang Wu left after receiving the missions, the alchemists were all stunned. Elder Yang Wuxing, is there really such a Li clan? He took so many missions in one go. Is he even giving others a way out? These 100 missions would take at least 1 or 2 years to complete. What right does he have to take so many missions in one go? Even if he wants to be in the limelight, he doesn't have to do this. Maybe he became arrogant after meeting the Alliance Master once. Saint Elder Yang Wu is a top-tier alchemist. I've seen his alchemy skills, and they are indeed extraordinary. Maybe he can complete these missions in a year. He has accepted so many missions. What should we do? Many alchemists were unhappy that Yang Wu had taken so many missions in one go. They felt that not only did Yang Wu steal their missions, but he also thought too highly of himself and stole their limelight. They were extremely jealous. At this time, the Meow Meow opened another gambling house. Come, let me be the banker and start the bet. I bet that Saint Master Yang Wu can complete 100 missions in half a year. I bet that he can complete 100 missions in 1 year. I bet that he can't complete the missions in 2 years. The lowest bet is 100 high-grade Shin-grade. There is no upper limit. It's impossible to complete the missions in half a year. Refining saint-level pills consumes a lot of energy. Even a top-tier alchemist can refine 10 batches of saint-level pills in a month. Refining 20 batches of saint-level pills is extremely difficult. No alchemist can refine saint-level pills in half a year. I bet that he can complete the missions in 1 year. 1 year is too tight. Some pills can't be refined, even 10 batches. I bet that he can complete the missions in 2 years. Among the 100 missions, There are more than 20 that are almost impossible to complete unless a godly alchemist makes a move. I bet that he can't complete the missions. Hurry up and place your bets. Don't just talk, the Meow Meow urged. Thus, these people all placed their bets under the urging of the Meow Meow. The Meow Meow's character was not bad. Many people believed in him, but the bets were very restrained. The minimum bet was 1,000 high-grade Xian stones, and the maximum did not exceed 100,000. This made the Meow Meow very dissatisfied. He said, "You don't believe that I can eat more Xian stones? Even if it's a saint stone, I can take it." The holy elders can also place their bets. A loud and clear voices alchemist. A Xian grade, comes. A sacred elder slowly walked over. Everyone bowed after seeing him. Greetings, sacred elder Xiaobo. This was the Yao clan's holy elder, Yao Xiaobo. He was a high-level saint alchemist, infinitely close to being a top-level saint alchemist. At the same time, he was Yao Wushuang's great-uncle. So it's the holy elder Xiaobo. Are you sure? The Meow Meow looked at Yao Xiaobo calmly. Hee, Meow Meow, didn't you say that there was no upper limit? Why can't you eat my million low-grade holy stones? I'm just playing with you for a bit. If it wasn't for the fact that you don't have the ability to eat more holy stones, I would have bet more. Yao Xiaobo sneered. The Meow Meow replied, "Who says I can't eat it? I can eat 10 million high-grade holy stones. I just feel that with Elder Xiaobo's status, a million low-grade holy stones is a little too little." "Oh, then do you dare to accept my bet of a million mid-grade holy stones?" Yao Xiaobo asked playfully. "Of course, why wouldn't I? I'll take as many as I can." The Meow Meow licked his thick lips and replied excitedly. He thought to himself, "This time, I'm going to win against these old turtles. Even if I lose, there's still Boss to back me up." All right, Meow Meow is already a top-notch minor saint alchemist, and he has the backing of Vice Alliance leader Meow. 10 million high-grade holy stones is indeed not much. The other holy elders can also place their bets. Yao Xiaobo laughed, and then he said loudly, "Among the 100 missions, one of them is to refine a type of heartless pill. Can Yang Wu refine it? Think about it carefully, haha." After saying that, Yao Xiaobo left. The other alchemists thought for a moment, and their eyes revealed a look of understanding. Very quickly, they ran over to the Meow Meow to place their bets. Those who had placed their bets earlier increased their bets one after another, all of them betting that Yang Wu would not be able to complete the mission. 2 hours later, the Meow Meow received bets that were equivalent to 5 million high-grade holy stones. 90% of them were betting that Yang Wu would not be able to complete the mission, and 10% of them were betting that they would not be able to change their minds after placing their bets. The Meow Meow held the holy stones in his hands, and he felt a sense of trepidation. Oh my God, these fellows are so ruthless. 5 million high-grade holy stones. I don't know if Boss can handle it. The Heartless Pill was an extremely unique pill. It was rumored that it was an ancient pill, a top-notch holy pill, or it could be said that it was comparable to a half-step divine pill. The recipe for this pill had long been lost, and even the Alchemist Alliance did not have it. A single heartless pill could help a person enter a state of emptiness, where there was no self, no other, and no everything. It could allow one to quickly enter the realm of one with the heavens and comprehend the mystical realm of the great Tao. No matter what level of cultivator it was extremely useful. Even heaven-piercing powerhouses yearned to obtain such a pill. They could enter a state of enlightenment, comprehend the great Tao, and increase their strength. The Heartless Pill had a fatal temptation to half-step heaven-piercing powerhouses. It could help them comprehend the mysteries of the Jade Moon realm in one go, perfect their cultivation path, and naturally enter the Jade Moon realm. It had a higher chance of breaking through than the Moonlight Divine Pill, which was used for breaking through, and it was more stable. However, refining the Heartless Pill only required holy stones. This was also the reason why it could not be classified as a divine pill. How could one refine the Heartless Pill without the recipe? This meant that Yang Wu would definitely not be able to complete the mission. Yao Xiaobo purposely reminded everyone of this point, and only then did everyone come to their senses and bet that Yang Wu would not be able to complete the mission. Even the Alliance Master had personally admitted that he was unable to refine the Heartless Pill. So how could Yang Wu possibly refine it? After Miao Miao took the bet, he quickly went to look for Yang Wu. Yang Wu was not in the alchemy room, but in an alchemy space. This alchemy space was specially opened for Saint Realm Elders. They could control the space's array formation to isolate the lightning tribulation, and they could also not activate the array formation, allowing the lightning tribulation to descend without worrying about disturbing the people outside. At this time, not only was Yang Wu in the alchemy space, but there was also Chao Jifei in Yao Miao Miao. He had originally only invited Chao Jifei to come with him, but who knew that Yao Miao Miao would insist on coming? Yang Wu had no way to argue with her, not to mention the other party had the spirit medicine body, a natural alchemist, and her temperament was not bad, so it was not a big deal to make friends with her. After Miao Miao arrived, he told Yang Wu the whole story of the bet. Chao Jifei and Yao Miao Miao, who were beside Yang Wu, both showed a trace of unease. Yang Wu, did you really accept the Heartless Pill mission? Chao Jifei asked. Yang Wu replied, it seems so. What do you mean it seems so? Hurry up and take a look. Chao Jifei said nervously. Yang Wu flipped his hand and a mission plate appeared in his hand. The mission written on it was to complete the Heartless Pill. Looks like you're going to have to bleed a lot this time. There's no pill formula for the Heartless Pill, so how are you going to refine it? Furthermore, Miao Miao even offered a compensation of 100 times, 5 million high-grade Saint Stones. Then you'll have to pay 100 million high-grade Saint Stones. This is a super large Saint Vein. Chao Jifei sighed softly. After pausing for a moment, she said to Miao Miao, go and find Vice Alliance leader Miao to be the middleman and return all these bets. Otherwise, you'll definitely lose miserably. Eldest senior sister, don't scare me. This is the bet that boss told me to accept. Miao Miao said nervously. Yao Miao Miao also said, did little brother tell you to accept the bet? How come we didn't know about it? Did you explain it to the person who placed the bet? Miao Miao felt the unfriendly gazes of the two girls and completely panicked. They wanted him to take the blame for this. Don't force me like this, my body is small. Even if I take out all my wealth, I won't be able to compensate so much money. If my ancestor finds out, I'll definitely be grounded for 100 years. Miao Miao was on the verge of tears. 100 million high-grade Saint Stones was too much, so much so that it was frightening. He couldn't afford it. Yang Wu said, all right, don't scare Miao Miao, I know what I'm doing. Just accept these holy stone, I can refine the Heartless Pill. This is not a joke. Chao Jifei emphasized, little brother, stop messing around. The Heartless Pill has been lost for who knows how many years. There was once a rumor that someone offered 1 million divine stone for the pill formula, but no one contributed it. Yao Miao Miao also did not believe that Yang Wu could complete the mission. Yang Wu laughed and did not explain further. Instead, he gave Miao Miao a large list of herbs that he needed and handed it over to Miao Miao. He ordered him to bring Bao Meili, Wang Daha, and Huang Xiaohe to the medicine hall to retrieve the herbs. As a top holy elder, Yang Wu had the right to receive the herbs in advance. As long as he refined the pills, it would be fine. Miao Miao did not suspect anything and left to carry out the order. Yang Wu sat cross-legged on a piece of incomparably hard divine stone and said to the two girls beside him, stay here and watch me refine the pills. We can discuss alchemy at any time and learn from each other's strengths to make up for our weaknesses. We can advance and retreat together. Without waiting for Chao Jifei to respond, Yao Miao Miao clapped her hands and said, good, good. I've long heard of little brother's amazing alchemy skills. I won't let go of such a good opportunity today. Chao Jifei nodded lightly at Yang Wu and said, only by discussing alchemy can we improve together. Not long after, Miao Miao brought Bao Meili into the hall and delivered the first batch of herbs. Wang Daha and Huang Xiaohe still had to continue to collect the herbs and deliver them one after another. I will refine a cauldron of bone-forming pills first. Watch carefully, Yang Wu said faintly. A bronze cauldron flew out from the cauldron. A stream of clear spring water flowed into the cauldron and washed the cauldron clean. Yang Wu's attitude was incomparably sincere. The onlookers all wore solemn expressions. Washing the cauldron and inviting the cauldron spirit. This was something that every alchemist who focused on alchemy would do. After Yang Wu was done with the cauldron, he ignited the sacred fire and sent thousands of herbs flying towards the cauldron. The sacred fire turned into sparks and swept the herbs away. Controlling herbs with the soul. Refining herbs with the sparks. Chapter 1243. Using one's soul to control medicine was something only a saint pharmacist could do. However, there were very few people like Yang Wu who could control thousands of herbs and make them fly into the cauldron at the same time. Not only that, Yang Wu used the power of the sacred fire to turn into sparks and refine the thousands of herbs that fell into the cauldron. In the blink of an eye, the thousands of herbs were refined into essences that fell into the cauldron. Chao Jifei, Yao Miao Miao, Miao Miao, and Bao Meili were stunned by such a fast refining method. Only a saint pharmacist can do this. I didn't expect Yang Wu to have already reached this step, Chao Jifei exclaimed. It wasn't difficult to separate sparks to refine medicine. The difficult part was how to refine them perfectly without wasting a single drop of their medicinal properties. Yang Wu learned this technique from watching Little Black concoct pills. Now that his soul embryo was formed, his divine sense was extremely powerful. It was easy for him to control the herbs, and it was also very simple for him to control the fire. Blue Demonis was also his heart fire, so he could control everything with ease. A wave of ordinary herbs was refined into the cauldron. The second wave of herbs quickly flew over and were refined by the same method. Yang Wu only controlled thousands of herbs. With his ability, it wasn't difficult for him to control 10,000 herbs. The difficult part was how to refine them accurately. Refining them perfectly was truly a godly method. No matter if it was ordinary or high-grade herbs, Yang Wu treated them all the same. They were all refined perfectly. Everyone else's eyes were opened. No wonder little brother became the youngest saint pharmacist in history. I'm not as good as him. Yao Miao Miao was rarely humble. She then added, only a man like this is worthy of being my partner. Miss Miao Miao, boss already has a few sisters-in-law. Miao Miao reminded her kindly. Bang! Bang! As soon as he finished speaking, his left and right eyes were hit. It was so painful that tears flowed down his face. He couldn't even scream. Not only did Yao Miao Miao beat him up, but even Chao Jifei also beat him up. Her eyes turned into panda eyes. There's no room for reasoning. Miao Miao cursed under his breath. After refining the herbs, it was time to refine the demon cores. Refining a demon core was not an easy task for many saint alchemists. The demon core contained a demon's soul and was also the essence of a demon saint. It required a large amount of saint qi to refine it, and if a saint alchemist with insufficient profound qi was unable to refine it, they would even be devoured by the demon's soul. When Yang Wu refined the demon core, he shocked everyone once again. Yang Wu actually grabbed the demon core with his claw and crushed it. Bang! A muffled explosion rang out as a holy demonic soul collapsed before it could even reach Yang Wu. Refine! Yang Wu shouted calmly. Blue Enchantress's flame increased, and it quickly refined the demon core fragments into essence, merging them with the herbal essence in the cauldron. Go! Yang Wu flicked his finger, and the spiritual spring turned into a rainbow and flew into the cauldron. Condense! Yang Wu closed the void, and the lid of the cauldron fell down. Bursts of star saint qi gathered, and the saint fire was extinguished. It was a shocking scene. A cauldron of saint pills was completely refined in a few breaths. That's it. Miao Miao was shocked. Too fast. My master's refining speed is only this fast. Chao Jifei sighed softly. My man is so powerful and handsome. I'm almost mesmerized by him. Yao Miao Miao said excitedly. Yang Wu retracted his qi, and his hair and clothes fluttered in the wind. He looked very handsome, and there was no doubt that he was a top saint medicine master. Chao Jifei, Yao Miao Miao, and Bao Meili were all mesmerized. All of a sudden, the sound of holy thunder rang out. "Oh no, young master didn't set up a thunder defense array," Bao Meili exclaimed. "Where's the thunder absorption puppet?" Yao Miao Miao asked softly. "My boss doesn't need the thunder absorption puppet to deal with this kind of saint thunder." Miao Miao had a proud expression on his face, as if he was the one facing the saint thunder. Yang Wu looked up at the domineering thunder and lightning, and he opened his mouth and sucked the thunder and lightning into his body. The four people present were shocked by Yang Wu's actions. Others would think of ways to avoid the thunder tribulation, but not only did Yang Wu not avoid it, he even opened his mouth and swallowed the thunder. His actions were indeed terrifying. Bolts of saint thunder that could kill ordinary saints fell into Yang Wu's mouth one by one. These seemingly domineering powers were all refined by Yang Wu and turned into energy that entered his body. A small part of it was transferred to the sacred mandala flower to refine it. Back at the Thunder Mountain, the sacred mandala flower didn't dare to withstand the power of the divine thunder and fled early. When Yang Wu quietly returned after attaining the body of Supreme Saint, Yang Wu felt that it was necessary to help her cultivate a powerful physique. He would nourish her with the power of thunder and lightning from time to help her adapt to the power of thunder and lightning. He also taught her the body tempering technique to cultivate. The sacred mandala flower was one of the 10 great evil plants. After swallowing the immortal elixir to regenerate, its life had changed. Not only did its strength increase, but it also evolved. Its physique became more powerful, and its combat power became more powerful. Yang Wu felt that it was still not enough. He had to let it adapt to the power of thunder and lightning and continue to evolve to become more powerful. 3 waves of heavenly thunder fell one after another, and they were all swallowed by Yang Wu. Not a single one was left out. The power of thunder and lightning was refined into the heavenly thunderbone. When erupted in the future, the power of the heavenly thunderbone would be extraordinarily powerful. This kind of heavenly thunder can no longer hurt me. I can only absorb its power. Yang Wu muttered to himself and took off the lid of the cauldron. Round pills flew out one after another, each exuding a strong vitality and medicinal properties. Waves of dense aura lingered endlessly. They were definitely the best of the best. The 4 people present counted and shockingly reached 22 bone-forming pills. This kind of number of pills was just too shocking. Even the level of a divine alchemist was only at this level. "Do the 3 of you have anything you want to say?" Yang Wu asked Chao Jin, Yao Miao Miao, and Miao Miao. Bao Meili's cultivation was still low, and she was also Yang Wu's servant, so she could only obediently listen. Miao Miao could not wait and asked, "Boss, how did you refine the pills with Starfire? Do you have any high-level fire controlling methods?" Chao Jifei cut to the chase and said, "Do you have a method to refine the sacred thunder?" Yao Miao Miao's eyes were filled with stars as she said, "Little brother, are you the reincarnation of a divine alchemist? When you refine pills, you're simply too handsome." Yang Wu put away the pills and replied, "I will answer Miao Miao's question first. The flame I use is the innate heart fire that I awakened. It has already reached the top of the sacred fire and is connected to my mind. I only need a thought, and it can help me refine pills. However, controlling the flame depends on the reaction of the soul. The soul and the flame are not on the same frequency, so it is especially easy to go wrong. Therefore, refining pills, refining flames, and refining the soul are all indispensable. Jifei's question is the simplest. I do have a method to refine the sacred thunder. It is the 9 lightning body tempering technique. If you want to cultivate it, I can give you the first volume, but you will have to suffer the pain of lightning. Little sister Miao Miao, I am not the reincarnation of a divine alchemist. In the future, I will definitely be stronger than them." After Yang Wu finished answering their questions, he said to them, "You guys refine pills too. I will watch from aside. I will go first." Miao Miao was eager to show off. After a shout, he took out his medicine cauldron to refine pills. His medicine cauldron was a sacred cauldron, which was enough for him. His ancestors had already prepared a good cauldron on the sacred weapon ranking for him. He only needed to wait for him to become a divine alchemist before he could use it. Miao Miao was indeed worthy of being Miao Jiaoqi's successor. Although he had a free and easy personality, he was extremely talented in refining pills. Every step was done in an orderly manner. He could also control the medicine with his soul. He had a Miao flame, which was the totem sacred fire of the Miao tribe. Its power was not to be underestimated. Under Miao Miao's control, the herbs were refined one by one. Yang Wu seriously watched Miao Miao's every move and memorized them. Miao Miao's heart was completely focused on Yang Wu. She didn't even look at Miao Miao's performance. Most of her attention was on Yang Wu. Chao Jifei was also a little absent-minded. She had become a divine alchemist and had reached the Star-Rune realm. She originally thought that she could catch up to Yang Wu's footsteps. Who would have thought that Yang Wu was much more powerful than she imagined? Miao Miao worked hard to refine a small divine pill and attracted 2 layers of lightning tribulation. He used the 9 lightning body tempering art that Yang Wu passed to him to block the first wave of lightning tribulation. After that, he summoned a lightning absorbing puppet to block the second wave of lightning tribulation. At this moment, Yang Wu freed one of his hands and grabbed the lightning absorbing puppet. He shouted, "Use your body to block the lightning tribulation." "Boss, don't." Miao Miao panicked. In the next moment, the second wave of lightning tribulation had already descended. "My life is over." Miao Miao felt that his limit was to block the first wave of lightning tribulation. If he had to block the second wave of lightning tribulation, it would be asking for his life. "Yang Wu, you'll really kill him like this. Vice Leader Miao will probably fight you to the death." Chao Jifei said with a trace of worry. "That guy is too wretched. It's good to let him suffer a little." Miao Miao said indifferently, "Don't worry. He can handle it." Yang Wu replied. Miao Miao's physique was astonishing and his potential was extraordinary. Otherwise, he wouldn't have achieved so much at such a young age. Miao Miaoqi had high hopes for him and had already refined him into an extraordinary physique. A mere lightning tribulation wouldn't kill him. It would only help his physical potential to be unearthed. After the second wave of lightning tribulation passed, everything returned to normal. Miao Miao was lying on the ground motionlessly. His entire body was char-black. His appearance was extremely miserable. He's not really dead, is he? Bah, I didn't do this. Don't come looking for me after you die. Miao Miao's face was a bit pale. Chao Jifei said to Yang Wu, "Why don't you go check on him?" Yang Wu smiled and said, Miao Miao, don't play dead. Otherwise, I'll attract another wave of lightning tribulation for you and refine your body again. Boss, please let me go. Miao Miao crawled up from the ground and cried out. Although he looked miserable, his vitality was still very strong. He wasn't in any danger of dying. Hurry up and refine your body and strengthen your physique. Yang Wu said loudly. Yes, boss. Chapter 1244. The 9 Lightnings body tempering art was extraordinary. As long as one could endure the pain of being struck by lightning, they would reap great benefits. Miao Miao's body had been tempered by Miao Miaoqi since he was a child. His body's foundation was very solid. Under ordinary lightning strikes, and with the help of the 9 Lightnings body tempering art, he had restarted the path of body tempering. After a period of meditation, Miao Miao's body had clearly improved by another level. He was overjoyed. Wonderful, truly wonderful. My body feels so strong. Miao Miao patted his chest. You're a little exposed. Hurry up and put on your clothes. Yang Wu pointed at his chest. Miao Miao had just undergone a lightning tribulation, so his clothes were already in tatters. Miao Miao laughed shamelessly. It doesn't matter if people see such firm muscles. He looked at Miao Miao provocatively. Compared to Chao Jifei, he preferred Miao Miao, the little witch. She was quite the flavor. I wonder if such a small body can do it 13 times a night. Don't embarrass yourself here, Miao said disdainfully. Miao Miao covered his face and left in defeat. I'll also refine a cauldron of pills. Yang Wu, can you give me some pointers? Chao Jifei asked Yang Wu. Chao Jifei had been hailed as Xiang Dingtian's successor, so she had her own confidence. She was already an iron-grade sacred apothecary before. Now that she had broken through to the astral rune realm, her pill refining skills were bound to be even stronger. All right, Yang Wu replied bluntly. Chao Jifei took out a dazzling cauldron. Yao Miao Miao couldn't help but exclaim, "The Heaven Cauldron!" The Heaven Cauldron was a cauldron on the Saint Weapon ranking, one of the top 3 sacred cauldrons. It had an extraordinary origin and was rumored to be the famous sacred cauldron of the primordial divine apothecary. It had accompanied the primordial divine apothecary throughout his life and possessed the primordial divine apothecary's legacy. Miao Miao was also envious of Chao Jifei's Heaven Cauldron. There were only 2 things that alchemists valued the most. One was a true flame seed, and the other was a medicinal cauldron. Only by possessing these 2 things could they refine pills better. The Heaven Cauldron was a top-grade saint cauldron, almost comparable to a divine cauldron. With such a cauldron in hand, the chances of condensing a pill would be much higher. Chao Jifei gently wiped the Heaven Cauldron before bowing to it. Her natal true fire, the imperial concubine flame, appeared on her body. This was her innate true fire that she had awakened. The crimson imperial concubine flame danced like a beautiful woman dancing. It was a breathtaking sight. It had also reached the level of a sacred flame and released astonishing power. In the next moment, many herbs flew into the cauldron. Chao Jifei's soul power was also very outstanding. She controlled 100 herbs to enter the cauldron at once. The imperial concubine flame burned on the cauldron, sending different strands of heat towards the herbs. She continuously formed hand seals, controlling the imperial concubine flame to the point of perfection. Many herbs were refined into the cauldron one after another. Her methods weren't as amazing as Yang Wu's, but they were still more brilliant than the average saint alchemist. After an unknown amount of time, she finished refining a large number of herbs. When it came to the sacred herbs, her speed slowed down a lot. Her soul power carefully controlled the sacred herbs to enter the cauldron. The intensity of the heat was also adjusted, afraid that she would destroy the herbs if she refined them too fiercely. Sure enough, there was a stock of saintly medicine that was destroyed by her excessive heat. She wasn't dispirited, nor was she flustered in the slightest. She still calmly placed a new sacred herb into the cauldron and successfully refined it. After refining all the herbs, her delicate face had a few more traces of redness. Fine beads of sweat seeped out of her forehead. It was obvious that refining these herbs was a little strenuous for her. The strength of a second-level star rune realm was only the strength of an elementary saint. Even if her foundation was strong enough, it still wasn't enough. Soon, she entered the process of refining the demon core. At this step, she was clearly much calmer. She used the imperial concubine flame to slowly refine the demon core, unlike Yang Wu's rough method. Everything was proceeding smoothly. In the end, Chao Jifei refined a tribulation sacred pill. Chao Jifei's strength was also not bad. She used her physical body to withstand the sacred lightning. Yang Wu and Miao Miao thought that they could feast their eyes on Chao Jifei while her clothes were being destroyed by the lightning tribulation. Who knew that she was wearing a top-grade sacred-grade inner armor that successfully blocked the lightning tribulation. Moreover, she didn't expose any places that shouldn't be exposed. What a pity! Yang Wu and Miao Miao both sighed softly in their hearts. In terms of figure, Chao Jifei was much more fiery than Yao Miao Miao. She was more voluptuous, while Yao Miao Miao was slender. Each had their own merits. It's just a tribulation sacred pill. I made a fool of myself. It was obvious that Chao Jifei wasn't satisfied with this refining. Miao Miao flattered. Eldest senior sister is blessed by the heavens. You can quickly refine a second tribulation sacred pill, or even a third tribulation sacred pill. Yang Wu also agreed. That's right. Chao Jifei looked at Yang Wu and asked, "Do you think so too?" Yang Wu said with certainty, "Yes, with your level, it's not difficult to refine a second tribulation sacred pill. You just need to improve a little bit." "Let's hear it." Your alchemy is too careful, and some steps are obviously a bit repetitive. You should be more precise. For example, you should change faster when controlling the fire. When the essence of the herbs enters the cauldron, you don't control it well enough. You should do this. After Yang Wu asked Qiao Jifei in detail, Qiao Jifei was enlightened. She had a deep understanding of her own shortcomings. As long as she adjusted these shortcomings, she could indeed refine a second tribulation sacred pill quickly. Yang Wu was also very impressed with Qiao Jifei's perception. She was indeed worthy of being Xiang Dingtian's successor. Her alchemy skills were improving rapidly, and it wouldn't be a problem for her to become a divine alchemist in the future. Xiang Dingtian was away for a long time, so he didn't have much time to teach her. Perhaps he also hoped that she would temper herself more and find her own Tao of alchemy. This also led to her having some unresolved problems. Coincidentally, Yang Wu had discovered her problems. If she fixed these problems, it would definitely not be a problem for her to advance further. It's not a coincidence that your alchemy skills are better than mine. Qiao Jifei expressed her admiration for Yang Wu. Yang Wu smiled and said, "There's no need to be so polite between us." Qiao Jifei thought of the scene when he took advantage of her and blushed. She thought to herself, if only he wasn't a playboy. "Little brother, I want to refine pills too. Please give me some pointers." Yao Miao Miao interrupted Yang Wu and Qiao Jifei's conversation and began to refine pills. Yao Miao Miao's cultivation level wasn't as high as Miao Miao's, but her alchemy skills were definitely above his. She took out a small and ancient cauldron. He couldn't tell its level, but from the aura it emitted, it was definitely a top-tier cauldron that wasn't inferior to the Heaven Cauldron. Yao Miao Miao took a light breath and unleashed the power of her spirit medicine body. Many of the herbs fused with her, and she could easily control them. She could better refine their essences. A dark green flame swept out and formed a whirlpool of fire, refining the herbs one by one. This is the Yao clan's unique whirlpool refining technique. Qiao Jifei transmitted to Yang Wu when she saw his shocked expression. "Interesting," Yang Wu replied. Yao Miao Miao's alchemy skills were natural. It was as if she was a monster born for alchemy. She was naturally compatible with alchemy. The dark green flames formed a whirlpool and quickly refined the herbs. When it came to refining the monster cores, there was no way to take shortcuts. She could only refine the monster cores with her own strength. She was seriously lacking in strength, so she only continued to refine the monster cores after refining the chi-replenishing pill. Yao Miao Miao's soul was incomparably powerful. Her soul power shrouded the medicinal cauldron, protecting the essence inside. After the demon core's power was completely refined, her soul power moved, assisting her true body to condense the elixir. Yang Wu, Qiao Jifei, and Miao Miao all saw this clearly. They were all shocked. Yao Miao Miao's soul had reached the saint stage and possessed some special mysteries that allowed her to achieve unparalleled success in alchemy. Sure enough, when the pills were refined, 3 lightning tribulations descended one after another. The power was quite majestic. This was the power of lightning tribulations that would only be attracted when a perfect pill was refined. Yao Miao Miao didn't dare to block the lightning with her physical body. A puppet appeared and blocked the lightning tribulations for her. When the lightning tribulations dissipated, a dozen perfect lesser saint pills appeared in front of everyone. Miao Miao felt inferior and said, "I'm not as good as her." Both of them were alchemists who could refine 3 tribulation lesser saint pills, but Yao Miao Miao's pills were more than his. Just based on this point, she could suppress him. Yao Miao Miao walked in front of Yang Wu proudly and said, "Little brother, can you give me some pointers? Is there anything I'm lacking?" Her graceful body moved closer to Yang Wu. Waves of mesmerizing medicinal fragrance entered Yang Wu's nostrils, causing Yang Wu's heart to flutter. What a little vixen! Yang Wu pondered for a moment and said, "Your alchemy is perfect. If I really want to pick out a flaw, it would be your lack of strength. When refining the demon cores, you couldn't consolidate the power of the demon cores and lost a lot of energy. Otherwise, you could have refined more pills. I'm also troubled. What should I do?" Yao Miao Miao said with a trace of pity. "Simple. As long as you cultivate the body-tempering art like Meow Meow, strengthen your physical body and cultivation realm, you'll be stronger in alchemy. I don't want to. I'm so thin and weak. I can't withstand the lightning tribulations. Then there's no way. Little brother is so powerful. There must be a way. Think about it. Can't I be your little wife? Stop fooling around. Yang Wu still couldn't stand Yao Meow Meow's coaxing and pestering. In the end, he decided to take out some second-grade immortal liquid to help her, Meow Meow, and Bao Meili reach a higher level. Yang Wu didn't get along with Yao Meow Meow, but it didn't mean that he couldn't get along with her. In his eyes, Yao Meow Meow was just a mischievous little girl with a good temper. Helping her was nothing. Yao Meow Meow didn't expect Yang Wu to really help her. Her impression of Yang Wu skyrocketed. She already knew of Yang Wu's existence and was very interested in him. After seeing him in person, she felt that Yang Wu was extraordinarily charming. Especially when she found that Chao Jifei seemed to like Yang Wu, she wanted to compete with Chao Jifei even more. Boss, don't waste time. Hurry up and finish your task. Otherwise, you'll lose even your underwear. Chapter 1245. Yang Wu wanted to complete 100 missions, so time was extremely tight. He also had to divert his attention to guide Chao Jifei, Meow Meow, Yao Meow Meow, and Bao Meili in alchemy. How could it be so easy for him to complete the missions in half a year? Fortunately, after witnessing Yang Wu's alchemy speed, they were not as worried as they were at the beginning. They believed that Yang Wu would give them a pleasant surprise. Yang Wu did not plan to delay any longer and began to seriously refine pills. He had accepted these 100 missions in order to prepare to become a divine apothecary. When he wholeheartedly entered the state of alchemy, the few people present finally saw what a terrifying alchemy speed was. Even ordinary divine apothecaries could not compare to him. Many herbs could be refined in an instant, and the powerful demon core's power could also be refined in an instant. These two powers quickly gathered together and fused into the best ratio to form the best pills. Yang Wu activated the Tao of alchemy, comprehended the myriad of herbs, and experienced the joy of alchemy. He could refine pills with a flick of his finger, and the more he refined, the more intoxicated he became. Every herb has a different medicinal property. If I want to fuse them together, I must understand their respective medicinal properties. Although I have received Little Hay's inheritance, I have not truly understood whether these herbs are sweet, bitter, or astringent. I need to further understand the medicinal properties of these herbs in order to reach perfection in the saint apothecary realm. A third tribulation holy pill is not the limit. A fourth tribulation holy pill or a fifth tribulation holy pill might be the best. After refining many third tribulation holy pills, Yang Wu still felt that he had not reached the limit of the saint apothecary realm. There was still room for improvement. He stopped refining pills and began to test the medicinal properties of the herbs. Wang Daha and Huang Xiao had sent over countless herbs. It was not easy for him to try them all. This process might take a lot of time, but he did not mind. If he did not even understand the medicinal properties, it would be impossible for him to refine the pills to the best of his abilities. His understanding of these herbs was still limited to the knowledge that Little Hay had passed on to him. Even though it was already very comprehensive, he still pursued perfection. In the following half a month, he tasted all kinds of herbs and gained a deeper understanding of the medicinal properties of these herbs. The others had been watching his actions, and they all revealed puzzled expressions. During this time, Chao Jifei refined a tribulation holy pill and successfully became a silver saint apothecary. Meow Meow also improved greatly and had the ability to become a saint apothecary. Yao Meow Meow was born with the spirit medicine body, and her ability to refine pills was outstanding. Unfortunately, she did not want to refine her body and was destined to become a saint apothecary. To become a saint apothecary was to become a saint apothecary. To become a saint apothecary. She was to become a saint apothecary. Yao, to become a saint alto, B, to become saint apothecary, was to become a saint apothecary saint, and Yi. And hey, yin to become saint heaven. A, as to become saint apathecto become saint holy. And the to become a saint to be. To become to be. The to become to be. Now that I have an understanding of the medicinal properties, it's time to refine pills. Perhaps I can refine even more perfect pills, Yang Wu said with a confident look on his face. Yang Wu once again opened the cauldron to refine pills. This time, he seemed to have become one with the medicinal cauldron and the various herbs. The extraction of the essence of various herbs became more meticulous, and the control of the fire became more perfect. He no longer pursued speed blindly. Instead, he meticulously completed every step. At the same time, just like how Yao Miao refined pills, he used his soul to control every strand of herb essence in the medicinal cauldron, covering the medicinal cauldron to prevent their medicinal properties from dissipating. After the demon core was refined and the two kinds of essences were fused together, Yang Wu separated a trace of his soul power and poured it into the pill. Using my soul power to inject vitality into the pill, I'll create a perfect grade pill. His soul power completely fused with the essences. They constantly condensed together to form the pill. The lightning tribulation descended. Boom, boom. The mighty heavenly thunder violently blasted down. The terrifying power of thunder and lightning scared everyone present. In front of the medicinal cauldron, Yang Wu looked up at the sky and opened his mouth to absorb the thunder and lightning. He condensed the black demon thunder orb, which was a thunder origin orb. It could absorb a lot of heavenly thunder to strengthen itself. The heavenly thunder bone could also integrate heavenly thunder. Ordinary holy thunder was not a threat to him. The first wave of heavenly thunder was completely absorbed by him. The second wave of heavenly thunder did not pose any threat to him. The third wave of heavenly thunder came as expected. Why is the power of the third wave of holy thunder so much more terrifying than before? Chao Jifei was the strongest existence besides Yang Wu. She felt that the heavenly thunder power that Yang Wu attracted was much stronger than before. Miao Miao, Yao Miao Miao, and Bao Meili were still a little weaker. However, they could clearly feel the mighty power of this lightning tribulation. The mighty power of the lightning tribulation was refined into electric forks and branded into Yang Wu's heavenly thunderbone. In the future, once Yang Wu activated the electric fork's magnetic field, the power of the explosion would be as terrifying as the lightning tribulation. Yang Wu was gradually walking out of his own Tao of terrifying lightning. After the third wave of heavenly thunder, everyone thought that the lightning tribulation was completely over. Who would have thought that the dark clouds were still shrouding the nine heavens? Suddenly, there were pitch-black thunderbolts that struck down, frightening everyone. If the power of heavenly thunder struck them, they would definitely turn into ashes. The fourth wave of lightning tribulation was the black demon divine thunder. A black demon divine thunder descended like a demon god. It carried the torrential power of thunder and lightning to kill Yang Wu and destroy the pill. Finally, there's some pressure. Yang Wu raised his head. His aura surged as he faced the black demon divine thunder head-on. A single black demon divine thunder was enough to kill a half-step into the immortal ascension realm expert. Yang Wu's fist was like a tortoise. It contained the power of the black tortoise's Tao. It slammed into the black demon divine thunder head-on, causing it to explode and sparks to fly. However, he also suffered a powerful shock. His body fell to the ground, unable to get up for a long time. Oh, boss won't die, right? Miao Miao couldn't help but worry after seeing the heavenly thunder disappear. Chao Jifei didn't answer. Instead, she quickly rushed toward Yang Wu's location. Yao Miao Miao also lightly stomped her foot and followed. Without waiting for them to get close, Yang Wu was the first to jump out of the pit. He exclaimed, "The power of the divine thunder can't be underestimated." Everyone looked at Yang Wu with astonishment. The black demon divine thunder just now was so terrifying. Even a single black demon divine thunder was enough to kill a half-step into the Immortal Ascension Realm expert, or even an ordinary Immortal Ascension Realm expert. Yang Wu was actually able to withstand it. His physique was too abnormal. Just now you attracted the 4th level of the lightning tribulation? Yao Miao Miao, who had always been playful, asked Yang Wu in shock. Miao Miao also recovered and said, "It seems like it really is the 4th level of the lightning tribulation. Could it be the legendary Emperor grade sacred pill?" Chao Jifei took over his words and said with certainty, "Pills were generally divided into ordinary pills, which were elementary pills without the lightning tribulation. There was also the first tribulation pill, which was also called the intermediate pill. There was also the second tribulation pill, which was called the advanced pill. The third tribulation pill was called the top pill. The pills that surpassed the third tribulation pill were called the emperor grade pill. The emperor of pills, the best of the best. Its value was more than 5 times that of the third tribulation pill. This kind of pill only existed in legends. Once taken, one would obtain 100% of the medicinal effect, and there wouldn't be any side effects. This was a dan that could only be refined by the alchemists of ancient times. In recent times, no alchemist was able to refine this kind of emperor-level dan. However, Yang Wu was able to accomplish such a magnificent feat. It was truly astonishing. Yang Wu adjusted his breathing, and the injuries on his body were all healed in an instant. Then he took off the lid, and several pills flew out of the cauldron. These medicinal pills revolved around him as if they were living creatures. They emitted waves of dense medicinal fragrance, which really made people want to slap the table and wonder. There are only 8 pills, and it's a lot less than before. However, the medicinal effect is even more amazing. It's completely concentrated in these 8 pills. Yang Wu looked at the 8 pills and said to himself with satisfaction, each pill was more than twice the size of an ordinary pill. The 4 pill patterns were quite obvious, and they were filled with endless power. It's really an emperor-grade sacred pill. I'm almost drunk just by smelling it. Miao Miao said with a look of worship, "Little brother, you're too amazing. How did you do it? Can you teach me?" Yao Miao Miao hugged Yang Wu's arm and acted coquettishly. Her soft and plump area squeezed Yang Wu's arm, causing Yang Wu's blood to boil. Chao Jifei looked at Yang Wu with an aggressive gaze, as if she couldn't wait to strip Yang Wu naked. Was this guy even human? He was actually able to do such a shocking thing. Yang Wu looked at Yao Miao Miao beside him and said, "Actually, I have to thank you. When I watch you refine pills, I use my soul force to envelop the cauldron and control the essence of the various herbs. It gave me some inspiration. If I infuse my soul force into the pills, they will naturally come to life." Chao Jifei, Yao Miao Miao, Miao Miao, and Bao Meili all revealed a thoughtful expression. Yang Wu made it sound simple, but in reality, it was extremely difficult to do. Soul Force was most afraid of fire. Once it was burned, it would dissipate. If he could ignore the fire and infuse it into the pills and condense them into pills, it wouldn't be that easy. Yang Wu didn't disturb them and continued to refine pills. He wanted to grasp this feeling in one go and refine more emperor-grade sacred pills. Perhaps this was the key to becoming a divine alchemist. 4 tribulation pills aren't the limit. I can refine 5 tribulation pills, 6 tribulation pills, and even 7 tribulation pills. Yang Wu muttered to himself and once again wholeheartedly immersed himself in refining pills. This time, he had completely entered the state of alchemy, causing a shocking scene. It shocked the castle and the entire Ding city. Shenong appeared. Chapter 1246. Shenong was known as the Alchemy Immortal King. He was the progenitor of alchemy and had contributed greatly to the human race. Rumor had it that he was already a high and mighty immortal, a god worshipped by alchemists. Today, Shenong's image appeared in the sky above the Alchemy Union's main altar. Immortal music played, immortal cranes flew, colorful clouds and rainbows appeared, and many immortal herbs appeared. Immortal flowers bloomed and turned into fairies. Immortal vines coiled around and turned into true dragons. Immortal springs poured down from the sky. All kinds of phenomena appeared, and auspicious vapors filled the sky. Inside the Alchemy Union's castle and outside Cauldron City, countless people exclaimed when they saw this shocking phenomenon. Immortal Master Shinnong has appeared, who has gained his recognition. God Shinnong is the progenitor of alchemists. He hasn't appeared for 100,000 years. I'm lucky enough to witness this scene. Who is the favorite of the Alchemy Union? After the ancient war between humans and demons, many outstanding alchemists died in the alchemy secret realm. Countless alchemy inheritances were lost. Today, someone has finally claimed Shinnong's position. A divine alchemist will appear again. Who in the Alchemy Union summoned Immortal Master Shinnong? Could it be that someone has claimed the title of divine alchemist again? Even a divine alchemist might not be able to see Shinnong. Only those extremely talented alchemists can summon him, right? Inside the Alchemy Union, Miao Miaoqi and Yao Chunhuang were alarmed. Two other divine alchemists who hadn't appeared in the world for many years also came out of seclusion. Greetings, progenitor. These divine alchemists and the other alchemists respectfully knelt down to pay their respects to Shinnong. Shinnong seemed to have sensed something. He gently waved the immortal vine in his hand, and strands of purple energy descended. An extremely shocking strand of purple energy appeared in the sky above the Alchemy Union. It was a majestic phenomenon that only a superpower could have. Shinnong appeared quickly and left quickly. Many of the phenomena quietly disappeared. A shocking purple chi descended into the alchemy space, lingering around the body of a young man. That young man seemed to have transformed into the son of medicine, easily refining tens of thousands of medicinal herbs into furnace after furnace of pills. The young man's alchemy technique was unpredictable. One moment he would refine a single herb, and the next moment he would refine thousands of herbs at the same time. Countless herbs' essences were wrapped in his soul force, preventing them from dissipating. Those demon cores were all crushed and refined by him, so there was no difficulty in refining them. Alchemy was a piece of cake for this young man. From time to time, 3 tribulations of lightning would descend, and occasionally, 4 tribulations of lightning would descend. In the end, 4 tribulations of lightning would descend consecutively, and the power of the 4th tribulation of lightning would become even more terrifying. The few people in the alchemy space could not withstand the 4 lightning tribulations and had no choice but to obediently withdraw from the space. Another 4 people entered this space. They were Miao Miaoqi, Yao Chunhuang, and 2 elders, 1 male and 1 female. The way of Shinnong. This young man has entered the state of selflessness. He will only wake up when his power is exhausted. Miao Miaoqi transmitted his voice to the 3 of them. Yao Chunhuang's expression was complicated. He said, "This is the way of immortal alchemy. Only the Alliance Master can reach this level. How can he do it? Every generation has a new talent. This young man will definitely surpass that young man, Xiang Dingtian." The white-robed elder said faintly. The old woman held her dragon walking stick and said with a smile, "We are not alone. Perhaps whether we can improve or not depends on him." These 4 godly alchemists did not receive Shinnong's appearance when they became godly alchemists. They did not expect that Yang Wu would attract Shinnong's attention when he was still a sane alchemist. Only when one's way of alchemy reached a certain level would they be able to attract the attention of the primogenitor. After watching Yang Wu's alchemy technique, they were all amazed. If it were them, they might not be able to do it as easily as Yang Wu. After a long time, Yang Wu finally stopped. He had completed more than half of the 100 tasks. It had not even been a month yet. If this continued, he would finish all the tasks within 2 months. Yang Wu put away the 10 4 tribulation divine pills that he had just made. He turned around and bowed to the 4 godly alchemists. "Greetings, lords. Yang Wu, no need to be so polite. You're already qualified to become a godly alchemist. It will not be long before you can be on the same level as us." Miao Miaoqi's expression softened. Yao Chunhuang also laughed. "Not bad, not bad. Yang Wu, You will surpass us in the future. You will definitely become a godly alchemist. Your achievements will be limitless. The Union of Alchemists will do our best to support you. If you need anything, just ask. The Union of Alchemists had helped Yangwu a lot, but it was only limited to the supply of herbs. Yao Chunhuang was just trying to be a good person on the surface. Before this, he had wanted to kill Yang Wu to avenge Yao Wushuang of the Yao clan. It was also to get rid of Yao Wushuang's greatest enemy. But now, he no longer had such thoughts. Not only was Yang Wu's alchemy technique amazing, but he was also terrifyingly strong. Unless he could summon an omnipotent realm expert to kill Yang Wu with a single strike, no one could do anything to him. A young man who could even ignore the divine lightning had the ability to make omnipotent realm experts fearful. Meow 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 Chi then introduced the other two godly alchemists. One was the previous Union leader of the Union. His name was Gulai, and the other was Grandma Qian. Both of them had been famous godly alchemists for a long time. They also praised Yang Wu greatly. Yang Wu is so accomplished at such a young age. It won't be a problem for him to surpass us in the future. Yang Wu, my young friend, you're qualified to discuss alchemy with us. Yang Wu didn't stand on ceremony. He talked about alchemy with them. They were all godly alchemists. Each of them had been alchemy for more than 5,000 years. Their accumulated knowledge of alchemy was not something an ordinary alchemist could compare to. Yang Wu had achieved some success in alchemy and had a unique understanding of alchemy. When he talked to them one by one, they were very impressed. If you want to make an imperial pill, you must have a soul technique. Even though we have all cultivated soul techniques, we are still not strong enough. Only those with extraordinary talent can do it. Even so, we have all reached the omnipotent realm. Once we condense a soul fetus, we will definitely be able to do it. But I don't know if we can endure the baptism of the divine lightning and divine fire. Xiang Dingtian has a body-refining soul technique. If he taught it to us, we can also reach a higher level. This is the world of young people. If we want to improve, we need to make another breakthrough. Unfortunately, there is nothing we can do. After these godly alchemists discussed alchemy with Yang Wu, not only did their auras not improve, but their auras were also low. It was obvious that they all had problems that they couldn't solve. To become an outstanding alchemist, one must have the support of one's cultivation level and a strong soul power to go further. They were all godly apothecaries who cultivated soul magic, and their soul power was incomparably powerful. But even so, they couldn't withstand the divine lightning like Yang Wu could. In the end, they couldn't transform their souls into life force and help the medicinal pill become alive. This was also why they were disappointed and sad. If they could go back in time, they would definitely focus on cultivating their cultivation level and physical body again. Then, they would cultivate alchemy again. Only then would they be able to achieve great success. Yang Wu had the ability to help them reach a higher level, but he didn't say it out loud. He wasn't familiar with these godly alchemists. They weren't close to each other yet. The godly alchemists left one after another. Only Yang Wu was left to continue his alchemy. Next, let's refine the Heartless Pill. Yang Wu muttered to himself. The Heartless Pill mission had been on the mission hall for many years. The price was much higher than ordinary divine pills, reaching 1,000,000 mid-grade divine stones. A single Heartless Pill could help a half-step into the Heavenly Ascension realm. It could even help a peak saint enter the Heavenly Ascension realm. At the same time, it could help them comprehend the Tao and condense their own path to the Heavenly Ascension realm. The Heartless Pill's recipe had long been lost. It had been on the bounty board for many years, but no one had ever offered it up. It had become a lost cause. Yang Wu accepted the Heartless Pill mission, so he naturally had the recipe. Little Hay had given him a vast alchemy inheritance that surpassed the imaginations of all transcendent realm alchemists. Yang Wu accepted the mission not only to complete it, but also for the sake of the Yang clan. He wanted to prepare a Heartless Pill for Yang Taiha and help it become a Heavenly Ascension realm figure in the Jade Moon realm as soon as possible. Only then would the Yang clan be able to stabilize their current position and not be as unstable as before. The Heartless Pill was indeed a difficult pill to refine. Not only did it require a large amount of herbs, but it also required the refinement of a godly demon core. It was already in the category of divine pills. A godly demon core was not so easy to refine. Fortunately, Yang Wu was strong. After 7 days of refining, he finally refined the godly demon core. The majestic essence of the demon core filled the medicinal cauldron. More than half of the essence wanted to break through the control. The essence of the herbs in the medicinal cauldron was also disturbed. If he was not careful, all his previous efforts would be wasted. Yang Wu finally felt the pressure of refining a quasi-divine pill. He shouted, "Grow!" Thus, he turned into a 30-foot giant. His Saint Chi became more abundant, and the power of the stars formed a star. He poured all of it into the medicinal cauldron. The medicinal cauldron had already grown bigger with him. It enveloped the essence of countless herbs and demon core. With the secret help of the vessel spirit in the medicinal cauldron, it finally formed a furnace of quasi-divine pills. Boom! Boom! Majestic thunder calamity came crashing down. It was like a sea of thunder, full of destructive power. Yang Wu grabbed the lightning with his bare hands and crushed it all. He refined it into his body. An electric force field formed and resisted the heavenly lightning. This was a true, godly thunder calamity. It was not as simple as the thunder punishment of an emperor-level divine pill. Numerous bolts of black demon lightning were like demons, appearing one after another to slay Yang Wu under the thunderbolts. Refine all of them. Yang Wu had already experienced the pain of the divine thunder. He was not afraid of it. With the help of the electric force field, he blocked the impact of the divine thunder. Then he used the 9 thunder reshaping technique to refine the thunder god into his body. He achieved the supreme saint body. Chapter 1247. The Heartless Pill was complete. Each pill was as sparkling and translucent as an agate, and its medicinal fragrance filled every corner of the refining space. This was a quasi-divine pill, so it was more valuable than the average divine pill. There were a total of 12 Heartless Pills here. Even though they were only first tribulation divine pills, each one was enough to cause a bloody storm. Its value is no less than the Dragon Phoenix pill. If it weren't for the Apothecary Alliance, Yang Wu wouldn't have been able to obtain such a large amount of herbs, especially top-grade ones like the Heartless Een and Soul Heart Fruit. After Yang Wu refined the Heartless Pills, he put them away and continued to refine more Heartless Pills. It could be said that the Heartless Pill was the most valuable of all the missions he had accepted. He asked Wang Daha and Huang Xiaohe to bring him more materials in case he failed. He still had a lot of materials left, so he had to use them all to refine more Heartless Pills. Even if he sold them to the Yang clan in the future, he could still make a fortune. Yang Wu refined 3 more batches of Heartless Pills in a row, and 1 batch was 2 Tribulation Divine Pills. The Heartless Pill is really hard to concoct. If I want to concoct a 3 Tribulation Heartless Pill, or even an Emperor-grade Heartless Pill, I need to be stronger. Yang Wu muttered to himself and began concocting other pills to complete the final task. In the blink of an eye, 3 months had passed since Yang Wu accepted the mission. During these 3 months, holy lightning continuously descended on the refining space. Such a long period of pill tribulations was truly shocking. At first, the apothecaries in the castle were affected, but in the end, they became numb to it. They knew that Holy Elder Yang Wu was refining pills to complete the 100 missions. They also heard that Holy Elder Yang Wu had reached the Emperor grade, surpassing many sage apothecaries, and had the potential to become a divine apothecary. Not long ago, Shenong's spirit had strengthened the Apothecary Alliance's fortunes. This was also related to Holy Elder Yang Wu, helping them obtain many benefits. It was easier for them to become clear-headed when refining pills, helping them advance to a higher realm. They had to thank Yang Wu. 3 months later, the lightning tribulation finally stopped. On the same day, the mission hall announced that Yang Wu had completed 100 missions and handed in a large number of pills. Not only did these pills offset the total value of all the herbs he had collected, but they also contributed a lot to the Apothecary Alliance. As such, The mission hall awarded Yang Wu 10,000 holy contribution points. Other alchemists would need several years or even decades to reach 10,000 sacred contribution points. However, Yang Wu had achieved such a feat in just 3 months, setting an unprecedented record. Even Alliance Master Xiang Dingtian had never done such a crazy thing before. Yang Wu's reputation as a top-notch saint alchemist was firmly established, and no one dared to doubt Yang Wu's alchemy abilities anymore. When Yang Wu's name spread from the Alchemist Union, the people of Tripod City also heard of the legend of Yang Wu. They were all shocked. The Miao Miao earned 5 million high-grade saint stones. Even though he had to give most of it to Yang Wu, it was still a great harvest. He said proudly, "There's meat to eat if you follow boss." It was because of the Miao Miao that Yang Wu's alchemy abilities were wantonly announced. Everyone in Tripod City recognized Yang Wu as the #1 alchemist below godly alchemists. He was also known as the #1 saint alchemist. This title became more and more mysterious. Furthermore, Yang Wu was the invincible emperor of this year's Dragon Phoenix rankings, which made him even more extraordinary. He was known as the #1 blazing sun of the transcendent world. Perhaps this title was boastful, but not many people stood out to oppose it. Fortunately, Yang Wu's achievements were soon drowned out by another matter. The Divine Medicine Realm was about to open. The Divine Medicine Realm was rumored to be an ancient Divine Medicine Realm. It was discovered in recent times and had opened a total of 6 times. This would be the last time. In the first 6 times, many alchemists entered the alchemy god's secret realm and created many powerful alchemists. Among them, Miao Miao Qi and Yao Chanwang both gained a lot from the alchemy god's secret realm and became alchemists. Hence, many alchemists fought to enter the alchemy god's secret realm. In the past, the Divine Medicine Realm only allowed a certain number of alchemists to enter. However, this would be the last time. The Alchemist Alliance decided to open the realm to all alchemists above heavenly alchemists. The prerequisite was that they had to be recognized by the Alchemist Alliance and become an alchemist certified by the Alchemist Alliance. Otherwise, no one would be allowed to enter. Apart from this, every alchemist could bring 10 followers. These followers were nominally to protect the alchemist, but in reality, they were there to help the alchemist obtain ancient inheritances and more high-grade herbs. Because of this, alchemists from all over the world put on a show of recruiting followers. Those who chose to be followers were not fools. The higher the level of the alchemist, the more benefits they would receive. It was not easy for low-grade alchemists to grow. Apart from the followers given by their own alchemists, it was not easy to recruit followers on their own. Moreover, it was difficult to recruit powerful followers. Many low-grade alchemists gave up on this trip to the Divine Medicine Realm for the sake of their own lives. It was reasonable for them to silently improve their cultivation. There were also many low-grade alchemists who wanted to become godly alchemists. They tried their best to recruit followers and fight for it. As the holy land of alchemists, Tripod City had a large number of alchemists gathered here. There were even more alchemists who were recruiting followers. Heroes, come quickly. Master Hong is recruiting followers to enter the Divine Medicine Realm. Those who have reached the Star Pattern Realm can enter and try. They will be rewarded with a Star Pattern pill. Our Saint Teacher Zhao is recruiting followers. He is already a high-grade Saint Alchemist. Those who are capable can come and try. Regardless of whether you can complete the mission, you will be rewarded with 3 Saint pills. Granny Zhuang is also recruiting followers. Whoever joins us, as long as they pass the test, they will be given a chance to be refined by Granny Zhuang. In every corner of Tripod City, many alchemists sent out their subordinates to recruit powerful followers. Many martial artists ran over to watch. There were also powerful martial artists who came to take the test. It was a bustling scene. Jin Yuchen and Jin Yuhao were also recruiting followers for Yang Wu. They only wrote a simple sentence at the recruitment office. Yang Wu Saint Alchemist Followers Recruitment Office. Yang Wu's name had already shaken the entire transcendent world. He was extremely young and had a bright future ahead of him. Many martial artists rushed over to become Yang Wu's followers and enter the Divine Medicine Realm together with Yang Wu to gain his friendship. Unfortunately, Most of the martial artists couldn't pass the test of Jin Yuchen and Jin Yu Hao. After the two of them came out from the same transformation pool, their strength continued to increase. They had already reached the second level of the Star Rune realm. When the two of them worked together, they could even defeat a mid-grade saint. In other words, those who weren't at the high-grade saint realm couldn't become Yangwu's followers. There was a limit to the number of saints in Tripod City. Even if there were many saints from other cities, those who were at the high-grade saint realm were even fewer. After 3 months of recruitment, only 2 of them were successful. The rest were all eliminated. If they wanted to recruit powerful martial artists but didn't offer good rewards, those powerful martial artists wouldn't easily join Yang Wu's camp. However, when Yang Wu concocted an Emperor Pill and completed 100 missions, including the Heartless Pill, those powerful saints who had been watching coldly from the sidelines finally couldn't sit still anymore. Two brats. Is Saint Master Yang Wu still recruiting? An ordinary-looking old man appeared in front of Jin Yuchen and Jin Yu Hao and asked arrogantly, "Yes, but you need to pass 2 tests before you can stay." Jin Yuchen replied, "There are such rules? Do you know who I am?" The old man replied unhappily. Jin Yu Hao replied, "I don't care who you are. If you want to follow Saint Master Yang Wu, you must pass the test to see if you are qualified." Okay. Jin Yu, will see what tests you can set," the old man replied with his hand behind his back. When the people around heard the old man's name, they were all shocked. Saint Jin Yu was a powerful martial artist who had been famous for a long time. It was said that he had reached the 10th level of the Star Rune realm. Once, a top alchemist from the Alchemist Union wanted to recruit him as a follower. This saint had never bowed his head. Unexpectedly, he took the initiative to join Yang Wu's camp. "First, take a full blow from us 2 brothers, then defeat one of them," Jin Yuchen replied. "No problem. Come at me," Jin Yu said without fear. No rush. This saint is coming." Another voice rang out. A tall figure landed on the recruitment ground. This tall figure had an astonishing aura. The star runes were like dragons spiraling around him. He looked like a stalwart man who had just walked out of the starlight. "So if it's leader run, why aren't you doing your job properly? Why are you here to steal my rice bowl?" Jin Yu said as he glanced at the man who had just arrived. The man who had just walked over was called Ren Xiaofeng. He had once established his own faction and called himself leader. Later, it was said that his faction was disbanded overnight. It was rumored that he had offended a big shot and had no choice but to disband. Ren Xiaofeng replied, "I have high hopes for Saint Master Yang Wu. I'm here to lend him a hand. I'll help him seize the harvest of the divine medicine and help him become the divine medicine." This person was confident and spirited. It was no wonder that he had once been the leader of a faction. Well said. However, Saint Master Yang Wu won't like boorish men like you. He would probably prefer a beauty like me. Another delicate voice rang out. A woman who still retained her charm walked over in the air. Petals drifted down, making her look like a celestial maiden. When Jin Yu and Ren Xiaofeng saw the person who had just arrived, a hint of fear flashed across their faces. Clearly, this person wasn't any weaker than them. In fact, she might even be stronger. "Widow Nangong, you're here to join the fun too?" Ren Xiaofeng asked in surprise. The woman in front of them had an extraordinary background. She was once the woman of a half-step into the heavenly arrival realm. However, that half-step died for unknown reasons, and she became a widow. Furthermore, she had taken over the faction that half-step into the heavenly arrival realm. That faction was still established in the Tripod City and was called the Nangong Trading Company. The Nangong Trading Company was one of the top 3 factions in the Tripod City. They specialized in the business of herbs and pills. They were very fair and had received good reviews from various factions. Unfortunately, after the half-step into the heavenly arrival realm died, the Nangong Trading Company also encountered some problems. If it wasn't for the widow Nangong protecting the trading company with her own strength, it would probably have ceased to exist. I heard that Saint Master Yang Wu is young and handsome. Naturally, I'm here to take a look. Chapter 1248. Inside the main altar of the Apothecary Alliance. After a series of discussions, Miao Miao Qi, Yao Chenhuang, and a group of holy elders agreed to build a branch in the Yang family city. However, they would have to wait until Yang Wu returned from the alchemy god's secret realm before they could start building the branch. Yang Wu was overjoyed when he received the reply. Building a branch in the Yang family city was very important. Not only did it mean that the Apothecary Alliance thought highly of him, but it would also attract alchemists from the battle race realm to verify their identities in the Yang family city. This would promote the development of the Yang family city. Yang Wu couldn't wait to send this news back to the Yang family, but he still suppressed his impulse. He would give the family a surprise when they started building the branch. It's time to check on the recruitment of Jin Yu Chen and Jin Yu Hao. Yang Wu walked out of the courtyard with Wang Daha and Huang Xiao beside him. In just a few months, the two of them seemed to have been reborn. They had been stuck in the half-step holy realm for many years, but now they had stepped into the first-grade Starmark realm. Their auras were incomparably stable, without any signs of instability. All of this was thanks to Yang Wu. Yang Wu had perfected the mystic formula for them and helped them break through. Otherwise, they would have been stuck in the half-step holy realm for the rest of their lives. Other than that, Yang Wu had also rewarded them with Starmark pills. As long as they worked loyally, Yang Wu wouldn't mistreat them. Their loyalty to Yang Wu skyrocketed to the point that they would work for Yang Wu with their lives. Such a lord was worthy of their wholehearted support. Before Yang Wu left the Apothecary Alliance with the two, Miao Miao eagerly followed them. If you don't refine pills properly, Vice Alliance leader Miao Miao will scold you again. Yang Wu glanced at Miao Miao. Ever since I watched Boss's alchemy skills, my alchemy skills have greatly improved. The old ancestor even told me to follow your footsteps closely. Miao Miao laughed. After pausing for a moment, he continued, Boss, be careful. We just want a large amount of holy stone from those guys. Who knows, you might be attacked the moment you leave the Alliance. Even if I don't provoke others, they will still burn incense. Who would dare to take revenge on me? Yang Wu said with a confident and high-spirited expression. That's true. Boss, you're too monstrous. Following beside you is too stressful. If you have any good cultivation methods, teach me more. As your little brother, I can't lose face for you. As long as you practice the Nine Thunders reshaping technique well, your cultivation will naturally increase. That's too painful. Only you and eldest senior sister can withstand it. However, first senior sister is only relying on her armor to block it. Without it, her clothes would definitely be torn apart by the lightning. Wouldn't that scene be too beautiful? Speak louder if you want to die. The two of them chatted as they walked into Ding City. Many people recognized Miao Miao. This flashy guy was the famous young master of Ding City. Although he was close to the people, he was not someone who could be easily bullied. They noticed Yang Wu beside Miao Miao and immediately guessed Yang Wu's identity. Their eyes began to shine. That must be Saint Master Yang Wu. He looks even more handsome than in the portrait. That's right. That's Saint Master Yang Wu. He's my idol. Rumor has it that he only refines third tribulation holy pills. I wonder if he's willing to trade them. Saint Master Yang Wu, take him in as my follower. These people became more and more excited as they spoke. Some of them could not control their emotions and rushed toward Yang Wu. Scram! Wang Daha scolded as he stood protectively beside Yang Wu. Huang Daha also said coldly, Can you bear the responsibility of frightening my lord? They released their saint auras and pushed the people who rushed toward them to the side. No one could get close to Yang Wu. Yang Wu frowned and said, Don't bully others. If there's a next time, I won't let you off so easily. Wang Daha and Huang Xiao were shocked. They quickly bowed and said yes. Yang Wu cupped his hands toward these people and said, I'm sorry, everyone. Yang Wu still has things to do. If you need me to refine pills, you can post a mission in the Alliance. There were all kinds of missions in the mission hall. There were also specific missions that required an alchemist to refine pills. No one dared to complain. Their actions just now were indeed offensive. Yang Wu had already humbled himself and apologized to them. It could be said that he had given them a lot of face. If they continued to push their luck, no one would stand up for them, even if they were beaten to death. Everyone stepped aside and let Yang Wu leave with Miao Miao. Xiao. Suddenly, A hidden weapon shot out from the crowd. Its target was Yang Wu. This hidden weapon came too suddenly and was incomparably fast. It was hard for anyone to catch it. Wang Daha and Huang Xiao didn't react in time. Fortunately, Yang Wu's reaction was faster than others. A battle armor appeared on his body, and a strong defensive force was produced. The hidden weapon was reflected back. The person who shot the hidden weapon didn't expect Yang Wu to react so quickly. He stretched out his hand to the side and grabbed a person in front of him, blocking the hidden weapon that was rebounding back to him. The person who was used as a shield was killed on the spot. This hidden weapon was smeared with a deadly poison. Since the person's sneak attack failed, he quickly fled. "Can you escape?" Yang Wu shouted and quickly rushed in his direction. A shocking fist flew toward the person. This fist seemed ordinary, but it contained an inexplicable concept. In the blink of an eye, it arrived at the person's body. The person was shocked. His escape speed had always been fast, but he was still caught up by Yang Wu. He could only block it head-on. A shield appeared on his arm, blocking Yang Wu's fist. Pung! Yang Wu's fist landed on the shield, directly shattering it. The unstoppable fist continued to spread, and the person exploded on the spot. Blood splattered everywhere, scaring the surrounding people into screaming and running away. "Bold madman, you dare to plot against my lord!" Wang Daha and Huang Xiao shouted and rushed towards Yang Wu. They looked around vigilantly to avoid a second sneak attack. "Meow, meow," exclaimed from behind. "Oh my God, boss's strength is even stronger than before the sacred transformation mountain." Yang Wu acted as if he had done something insignificant and said, "No need to make a fuss. Let's continue." "My lord, we are sorry. We did not protect you well," Wang Daha and Huang Xiao has said with guilt. "The opponent is stronger than you. There is no need to blame yourselves." Yang Wu waved his hand. Yang Wu brought the three people and continued on their way. He did not care about the background of the assassin. To Yang Wu, this was not important. As long as he was strong enough, no matter how many assassins came, they would all die. "My saint body has reached the large success stage. Unless Tan Tian makes a move, no one can take my life," Yang Wu said in his heart with incomparable confidence. After his saint body reached the large success stage, his reactions in all aspects had a qualitative leap. It was not something an ordinary saint could compare to. Soon, they arrived at the place where Jin Yuchen and Jin Yuhao were recruiting followers. There were many people gathered here. It was one of the most lively places in all the recruitment grounds. There were only a few places that could compare to it. Those were the places where the top saint alchemists recruited followers. Currently, there were 22 people gathered around Jin Yuchen and Jin Yuhao. Including them, there were 24 people. The weakest of these 24 people had reached the 6th level of Star Rune Realm. The strongest was a peak saint. Each saint alchemist could only recruit 10 people. The number of people recruited by the two of them had obviously exceeded the quota. In addition, there were people who went up to take the test. These people's strength was not to be underestimated. When Yang Wu arrived, these people became even more excited. The news that Yang Wu could refine the legendary Emperor-grade Saint Pill had already been confirmed. This was also the reason why so many people came to take the test and wanted to become Yang Wu's followers. "Lord, the people you want us to recruit are all here. You can choose as you see fit." Jin Yuchen stepped forward and bowed. Jin Yuhao said, "We recruited a little too many people. They're all very strong. We can't tell who is strong and who is weak. We can only let Lord make the decision." These two brothers clearly played a little trick. These people were all very strong, but they could only choose 10 followers. If some people were not convinced, they would see how Yang Wu would deal with them. If he could not deal with them, then Yang Wu would be disgraced. How could Yang Wu not see through these two's little tricks? However, he did not take it to heart. He swept his gaze over the people in front of him and found that there were indeed a few strong people. He was quite satisfied with the two's recruitment. The saints present looked at Yang Wu, and their eyes flashed with surprise. They did not expect Yang Wu to be so young, and his strength was not ordinary. He had already stepped into the saint realm. No wonder he could become a saint alchemist. Yang Wu walked over to these people and said, You all want to become this young master's followers in the medicine mystic realm this time, but the quota is limited. This young master can only choose 8 of you. For this reason, this young master will only choose the best. If the others want to follow this young master for a long time, this young master will also give them a chance. Next, this young master will personally test you. Whoever can withstand this young master's magnetic field the longest can stay. Yangwu did not wait for these people to react. His majestic aura erupted like a flood. A thunder and electromagnetic field spread out, enveloping more than 20 saints. Rumble, rumble. Every bolt of lightning turned into an electric fork and attacked those saints. Its power was incomparably shocking and overbearing. Electric fork magnetic field. One move to suppress all the saints. A few saints could not react in time and were sent flying by the electric fork's magnetic field while vomiting blood. Their bodies were charred black, and they looked incomparably miserable. The others used their strength to resist Yangwu's electric fork's magnetic field. Only then did they realize that this Saint Alchemist's combat strength was probably above theirs. Jin Yuchen, Jin Yuhao, Miao Miao, Wang Daha, Huang Xiaohe, and the others were all frightened. The terrifying power that Yangwu released was beyond their imagination. They felt that Yangwu had transformed into a thunder god and lightning goddess, mighty and domineering to the extreme. Not long after, the saints were bombarded by the electric fork's power and ran out of the magnetic field in a sorry state. Saint Master Yangwu is so abnormal. Why did he invite us to be his followers? Naturally, it's to do odd jobs for him. Chapter 1249. The electric fork's magnetic field covered an area with a radius of 1 mile. The scene wasn't very big, but the omnipresent power of lightning was extremely powerful. Many electric forks wreaked havoc and turned into thunderbolts that exploded. The power was not inferior to the combat power of a top-notch saint. The saints were battered by the violent lightning and ran out of the electric fork's magnetic field. Some were unconvinced and rushed in again, but they were still sent flying by the powerful thunderbolts. Yangwu's strength is really unfathomable, Jin Yuhao said to his brother, Jin Yuhao. He must have obtained some kind of inheritance to be able to advance so quickly, Jin Yuhao replied. Jin Yuhao replied. After pausing for a moment, he continued, Father has passed on an ancient, profound art to us. We must diligently cultivate it. In the future, we should be able to be as strong as Father. We will definitely not be inferior to Yangwu. Yes, 100 years is the time for us to advance by leaps and bounds. We can use Yangwu's elixirs to get more elixirs from him to help us increase our strength faster. It's good that you think this way. We still have to act on the surface. He's not someone who's easily fooled. In less than 15 minutes, many saints were shaken out of the electric fork's magnetic field. Only 8 saints were left. Yangwu put away the electric fork's magnetic field. When the electric fork's magnetic field disappeared, the 8 saints present didn't look so relaxed. 5 of them were charred black, and even their hair was blown up. Only 3 of them could barely block Yangwu's thunderbolts. The 8 of them were the pinnacle saints Feng Daozi, Ren Xiaofeng, Nangong Shiqin, Jinyu, Lu Jingtian, Fan Xingli, Li Xiangru, and Wu Ximin. Feng Daozi was an old man with white hair and a youthful face. He had a spirit crane as his follower and was the strongest. He had a righteous aura and looked like a righteous hero. Ren Xiaofeng and Nangong Shiqin had both reached the pinnacle of the star pattern realm. They were at least at the 10th level. On the other hand, Jinyu and Lu Jingtian had both reached the level 9 star mark realm. Fan Qingli and Li Xiangru were also at the high-level star pattern realm. They were both at the 8th level. The weakest was Wu Ximin. She was still a woman and was only at the 6th level of the celestial rune realm. However, she had managed to endure until the end. It was clear that her potential wasn't inferior to the others. Very good. The 8 of you will stay behind to accompany me into the Divine Medicine Secret Zone. If you do not wish to enter, it is not too late to say so now, Yangwu said with satisfaction as he looked at the 8 people before him. These 8 people were not at the peak of the saint realm, but they had the confidence to challenge a saint at the peak. That was enough. Moreover, Yang Wu wasn't completely relying on them. It was more practical to rely on himself. We are willing to follow Saint Master Yang Wu into the alchemy mystic realm. Everyone replied in unison. All right, there's still some time before the divine medicine realm opens. If you have anything to do it quickly and meet up with the two of them. Yang Wu replied in satisfaction. He paused for a moment before emphasizing, you may lose your life at any time in this medicinal mystic realm. Think carefully. These people were all heroes among men. They were powerful and had sufficient self-confidence. They would not back down easily. What is our reward? Wu Simin, who is the weakest among them, asked. This woman looked middle-aged and was of average beauty. In the eyes of ordinary people, she would be considered a beauty. She wore a suit of armor that completely covered her impressive figure. There was a white fox lying on her shoulder. Indeed, she had a different kind of charm. Yang Wu had never mentioned the reward to them. They were only temporary followers of Yang Wu, not lifelong followers. After leaving the divine medicine mystic realm, they would regain their freedom. In other words, they were only employed by Yang Wu. As long as you have the materials, I can make a cauldron of pills below the divine level for you. If you don't have the materials, I will also give you 3 tribulation divine pills. Yang Wu emphasized. A tribulation divine pill was extremely valuable, especially those that could increase one's strength. They were even more valuable. Other Saint Alchemists might not dare to boast about such a price. Even other top-tier Saint Alchemists would not dare to guarantee that the pills they made would be tribulation divine pills. It would be very good if they had a 50% chance. However, Yang Wu could promise that he had the ability to do so. Everyone present revealed a satisfied expression. There is a certain risk for them to follow Yang Wu into the divine medicine mystic realm. Naturally, they would have to pay a corresponding fee. These tribulation divine pills were the price. Feng Daozi asked, Yang Wu, how many Saint Alchemists can you make in one cauldron? There should be at least 10 of them. Yang Wu replied conservatively. After a pause, he continued, and I guarantee that they will all be tribulation divine pills. Are you satisfied now? Happy working with you. Feng Daozi cupped his hands and replied. Everyone else also bowed to express their satisfaction. All right, you guys go back and prepare. I will let the 2 of them inform you before the opening. Don't go missing. Before entering the divine medicine mystic realm, I will also give you some tribulation divine pills. If you work for me, I will not mistreat you. Yang Wu said one last sentence before returning to the castle with Miao Miao. They had only taken a few steps when they met another group of people from the apothecary union. Miao Miao called out shamelessly, Yo, isn't this Elder Xiao Bo Sheng? You're also here to recruit people. Yao Xiao Bo was Yao Wushuang's great uncle. He had bet 1 million mid-grade Saint Stones on Yang Wu's loss. He had even encouraged many other apothecaries to increase the bet. In the end, he had bet a total of 5 million high-grade Saint Stones on Yang Wu's failure. Who would have thought that Yang Wu would complete the mission in just 3 months? This slap to his face was a solid slap. Yao Xiaobo really did not want to meet Yang Wu and Miao Miao. He said unhappily, Miao Miao, you can't just wander around aimlessly. Vice Leader Miao Miao has high hopes for you. Elder Xiaobo doesn't need to worry about that. With my boss guiding me, my alchemy skills will not fall behind. Miao Miao said proudly. He then said to Yang Wu, Boss, this Elder Xiaobo Sheng is our lucky charm. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have been able to win so many Saint Stones. We should thank him together. Miao Miao and Yao Chanhuang had been secretly competing with each other. Miao Miao did not have a good impression of the apothecary clan, so he would not let go of an opportunity to hit them while they were down. Yang Wu stopped Miao Miao and said, Miao Miao, Elder Xiaobo Sheng is a senior. Don't be rude. He then said to Yao Xiaobo, Elder Xiaobo, don't blame Miao Miao. He's still a child. Let's fight after we enter the apothecary mystic realm. Yao Xiaobo coldly snorted and walked past Yang Wu's group. After Yao Xiaobo and his group left, someone beside him said, Sir, are we just going to let this go? Wait until we enter the apothecary mystic realm. Kill all of them, and the apothecary mystic realm will belong to our apothecary clan. Yao Xiaobo replied with a serious face. He paused for a moment and added, "This matter must be done cleanly. I don't want any accidents to happen. Otherwise, I will be the one to die." "Don't worry, we accepted the mission. There is no reason for us to fail," that person calmly replied. Yang Wu did not know that Yao Xiaobo wanted to kill him. He brought Miao Miao, Wang Daha, and Huang Xiaohe to the apothecary department. The apothecary department was Elder Zue's territory. There were 36 apothecaries here, and each of them had large amounts of herbs and pills. Yang Wu directly went to the 36th apothecary department and found Elder Zhe. He directly asked to buy a batch of herbs. Now, he already had a lot of herbs, but he felt that it was not enough. He wanted to become a godly apothecary. No matter how many herbs he had, it would not be enough. Moreover, he also wanted to establish his own faction. "Little Wu, you really refined an emperor pill?" Elder Zue asked excitedly after seeing Yang Wu. He grabbed Yang Wu's hand and asked excitedly. Yang Wu nodded lightly and said, "I was lucky." "Good, brat. Quickly teach this old man. I also want to refine an emperor pill." Elder Zue impatiently said. Miao Miao said from the side, "Elder Zhe, do you think an emperor pill is so easy to refine? I think you should not waste my boss's time." "Miao Miao, what do you mean?" "This old man is the dean of the apothecary department. My talent in alchemy is astonishing. How difficult is it for me to refine an emperor pill?" Elder Zue replied, "If it wasn't difficult, you would have become a godly apothecary long ago." "You stinking brat, are you asking for a beating? You won't be able to get a discount here in the future." "Don't. You are wise and mighty. Your alchemy skills are unparalleled. I was just spouting nonsense." Yang was not stingy with discussing alchemy with Elder Zhe. Miao Miao also listened at the side. Both Elder Zue and Miao Miao gained a lot. Yang Wu had gradually opened up his own alchemy path. He had a unique understanding of alchemy and was no longer limited to the alchemy knowledge taught by Little Hay. "My soul force is not weak, but it is extremely difficult to completely control the proportion of each strand of herb essence and integrate it into the pill. Even a godly apothecary would not be able to do it. Little Wu, your success is definitely not due to luck." Elder Zue sighed. Yang Wu changed the topic and said, "Elder Zhe, I want to exchange for some ordinary divine herbs. I don't have any god stones. Can I exchange them with emperor pills?" "Ordinary divine herbs can be bought with saint stones. Of course, emperor pills would be even better." Elder Zue replied. He then asked, "Brat, are you trying to become a godly apothecary by getting some divine herbs?" Miao Miao also looked at Yang Wu curiously from the side, waiting for Yang Wu's answer. Yang Wu smiled and said, "Let's prepare first. What if I succeed?" Miao Miao exclaimed, "Boss, are you serious? If you succeed, can we still be brothers?" If Yang Wu really became a godly apothecary, the gap between the two of them would be widened. There might even be a gap between them. "What are you talking about? It's still too early," Yang Wu replied. He then said, "Becoming a godly apothecary is something I have to do. I hope this trip to the medicine god mystic realm will not disappoint me." Yang Wu revealed his sharpness. Elder Zue and Miao Miao both felt his determination and were shocked. They felt that Yang Wu might really succeed. He had created too many miracles. "Little Wu, you can do it. If you really become a godly apothecary, I will also feel proud. You are a member of my alliance. When the time comes, don't forget about me. Boss, I will always be your loyal little brother. Don't abandon me. Otherwise, I will be very sad." Chapter 1250. The divine medicine realm was about to open. This news had already spread throughout the transcendent world. Many alchemists had rushed to Ding City from all over the world. Even though there were not many restrictions on who could enter the divine medicine realm this time, those who needed to be tested still had to be tested. If they were not top-tier alchemists, they would not be allowed to enter. The Apothecary Alliance's branches became very lively. The alchemists who passed the test were very happy. They brought 10 followers and rushed to Ding City to wait for the opening of the divine medicine realm. The Ding City was bustling with noise and excitement. The number of alchemists coming and going was several times more than usual. There were also many people who came to protect them. The business of the restaurants in the Ding City was unusually good. There was a situation where the demand could not meet the demand. Some alchemists fought with other alchemists for a place to stay. In the end, it turned into a fight. If it were not for the fact that the Ding City's enforcement team was strong enough, there would have been chaos. After Yang Wu went out to see the people he recruited, he stayed in the Apothecary Alliance's castle. He did not go into seclusion to concoct pills, nor did he spend all his time on cultivation. Instead, he went to the Alchemy Recipe Pavilion and went straight to the third floor to look at all the pill recipes. If he wanted to go to the third floor, he had to use contribution points to exchange for them. Yang Wu had 10,000 contribution points. It was enough for him to spend as much as he wanted. He flipped through all the pill recipes on the third, fourth, and fifth floors. Other than that, he also saw some secret alchemy techniques and soul cultivation techniques. As long as it was related to alchemy, he could find it here. The divine tier pill recipes on the fifth floor were also extraordinary. They were very valuable. He had almost used up all his contribution points. In the past 2 months, he had gained a lot. The alchemy techniques that Little Hay taught him were very comprehensive. However, he did not want to grow under Little Hay's shadow for the rest of his life. He had to make a breakthrough in order to go further. Now that I have so many pill recipes, it's not difficult for me to go far on the path of alchemy. However, if I want to leave my name in the annals of history, I must establish my own set of secret alchemy techniques. In addition, I must create new pill recipes and establish my own unique position. Yang Wu's ambition was very big. He wanted to have a greater influence in alchemy and open up a path that belonged to him. Yang Wu returned to his courtyard and gave Bao Meili some pointers. Bao Meili's growth was very fast. She was originally very persistent on the path of alchemy, but unfortunately, her talent was ordinary and she lacked the guidance of a master. Now that she had Yang Wu's guidance, she finally understood. She was already able to refine a second tribulation Little Saint pill. She was confident that she would be able to refine a third tribulation Little Saint pill in no time. Yang Wu nurtured her not only because of her loyalty and persistence, but also because he hoped that after the Yang Jiaqing branch altar was built, he would let her work in the branch altar. He believed that she would be able to handle this task. Now, you could be considered to have made great progress. As long as you break through to the Star Rune realm, you will definitely become a saint alchemist in the future. However, if you want to go further, you must continue to persevere. In addition, don't always stay in the house to concoct pills. If you have the time, go out and take a look. Use your heart to feel the life of the herbs. Yes, young master. This servant will remember this. You can participate in this trip to the divine alchemy's secret realm. You can go out and choose your people. Ask the Ha and Xiao Ha to help you. Many thanks for young master's nurturing. This servant will not let young master down. Bao Meili was a little saint alchemist and also an alchemist certified by the Alchemist Union. She was qualified to enter the divine alchemy's secret realm. Whether she could gain anything in the divine alchemy's secret realm would depend on her luck. Half a month passed. The divine alchemy's secret realm finally opened. Under the leadership of the 2 deputy union leaders, the Alchemist Union sent out 5 huge battleships. They brought all the alchemists and flew towards the opening of the secret realm. These 5 battleships were not sent out by Bai Wugu. All the alchemists had to pay a huge fee to board the battleships. It was equivalent to the entrance fee of the divine alchemy secret realm. None of the alchemists dared to complain. They all took out the entrance fee and paid it. The entrance fee was not cheap. Each alchemist had to pay 1,000,000 low-grade saint stones. Such a high price was enough to stop many alchemists. Fortunately, they knew the rules. Those who dared to come prepared enough saint stones. As long as they entered the divine alchemy's secret realm, they would be able to earn back their saint stones. These 5 huge battleships had a space inside. Each battleship could hold 100,000 people. The 5 battleships had a total of 500,000 people. The battleships flew majestically. They were like a powerful army heading into the distance. Countless alchemists were excited. They were looking forward to the rewards of this trip. Half a day later, the battleships descended above a barren land. A voice rang out, "Open the divine alchemy secret realm." The 5 battleships shone brightly at the same time. Boom, boom, boom. The power of the battleships was too terrifying. It was as if an expert had attacked. The sky was completely torn apart. All of a sudden, ancient palaces and mountain ranges vaguely appeared in the sky. Furious roars could be heard as well. It was as if the mysterious veil of a dusty and ancient holy land had been lifted. Going quickly. You only have half a year. After half a year, regardless of whether you have gained anything or not, you have to come out. This is the last time the Divine Alchemy Secret Realm will open. If you don't leave on time, you will die inside when the Divine Alchemy Secret Realm disintegrates. Take care. A voice faintly announced. In the next moment, silhouettes soared into the sky and rushed towards the Divine Alchemy Secret Realm. 500,000 people moved at the same time. It was a spectacular scene. The Divine Alchemy Secret Realm will be obtained by me. This time, I must find a higher level alchemy technique. It will help me reach a higher level. I smell a medicinal fragrance. There must be divine medicine here. I want to become a saint alchemist in the Divine Alchemy Palace. I can do it. These alchemists have been waiting for this moment for a long time. Their emotions were roaring and shouting. They must obtain a great harvest from this trip to the Divine Alchemy Secret Realm. Yang Wu also rushed towards the Divine Alchemy Secret Realm. There were 10 people beside him. They were Jin Yuchen, Jin Yuhao, Feng Daozi, Rin Xiaofeng, Nangong Shiqin, Jin Yu, Lu Jingtian, Fan Qingli, Li Xiangru, and Wu Ximin. Yang Wu promised Jin Xiu that he would bring Jin Yuchen and Jin Yuhao. He would not go back on his word. Therefore, he brought them into the Divine Alchemy Secret Realm. Whether they could obtain anything or not depended on them. The Divine Alchemy Secret Realm did not only have medicinal pills and herbs. It also had the inheritance of some experts. Beside Yang Wu were Chao Jifei, Miao Miao, and Yao Miao Miao. They each had 10 followers. They were all very powerful. They were the most important juniors of the Alchemist Alliance. Their elders had already arranged for loyal followers for them. They did not need to worry at all. Boss, the Divine Alchemy Secret Realm has a total of 5 levels. Each level corresponds to a different place. There's an inheritance tower. Only those who are recognized by the tower can stay in the Divine Alchemy Secret Realm. If they're not recognized by the tower, they will be kicked out immediately. Miao Miao reminded Yang Wu. Miao Miao had been in the Divine Alchemy Secret Realm before. He knew the situation inside and told Miao Miao everything. Yao Miao Miao also said, the inheritance tower should be the ultimate inheritance of the Divine Alchemy Secret Realm. It is a pity that no one can be recognized by it. No one can obtain the ultimate inheritance of the Divine Alchemy Secret Realm. This time, boss will go in. I'm afraid the inheritance tower will recognize him. Miao Miao looked at Yang Wu and said, now, it was not the time to talk about this. Once inside, you guys should take care of each other. There are great dangers inside, Yang Wu said sternly. In the next moment, they passed through the door of light and entered the secret realm. In the secret realm, there was an ancient aura that permeated the air. The ancient mountain ranges were like coiling dragons, and ancient palaces were built in different mountain ranges. Among them, the most dazzling ones were the 5-story inheritance towers. They were built on top of the 5 tallest mountains, suppressing the surrounding mountain ranges. The 5 towers were scattered on different mountains. They were arranged in a picturesque manner. They were like snakes that extended into the depths of the secret realm. The 5 inheritance towers each had a different function. If one wanted to stay in this space, they had to be recognized by the inheritance tower. If they could not pass, they would be immediately sent out. A faintly discernible voice resounded. Please enter the first inheritance tower. Numerous alchemists brought along their followers and rushed towards the location of the first inheritance tower one after another. The inheritance tower was very ancient. The style of the tower was completely different from the ones in the outside world. Every inheritance tower was an independent space. As long as one entered, they would be tested regardless of a number of people. However, when they were heading towards the inheritance tower, a special creature appeared. This special creature was a type of puppet called Fire Ant-Man. There were many of them. They faced the alchemists who rushed down and spat out terrifying flames. Kill. Now was the time for the alchemists to display their strength. Their mission was to escort the alchemists to the Inheritance Tower. Only by obtaining the Inheritance Tower's recognition would they have the hope of staying in this place. The number of Fire Ant-Man was astonishing. The raging firepower they released was enough to give a minor Saint a headache. Only those who had reached the Star Rune boundary could escort the alchemists to sweep through. After these Fire Ant-Man were killed, they could revive again. They were obviously fake puppets, and the person who created them was incomparably terrifying. Yang Wu, Chao Jifei, Meow Meow, and Yao Meow Meow's group were also attacked by the Fire Ant-Man. Yang Wu's followers were very powerful. He didn't even need to make a move. These Fire Ant-Men were all scattered. They couldn't cause any harm to them. Yang Wu stared at these Fire Ant-Men in astonishment and muttered, This is a puppet formed by will. Chapter 12:51. Willpower was the embodiment of spiritual force. The stronger the spiritual force, the stronger the willpower. Since spiritual force was a type of spiritual force, a puppet formed from willpower was a puppet formed from the will of the soul. Yang Wu had the puppet control technique, so he understood all kinds of puppets. Among them, there was a mention of willpower puppets. They were puppets that could only be condensed by supreme experts. They were born from the will of supreme experts. As long as the supreme expert didn't die, their will wouldn't be extinguished, and these puppets would continue to revive. The millions of Fire Ant-Men here were all formed from willpower. It could be seen how terrifying the willpower of a supreme expert was. Yang Wu believed that his willpower was also very strong, but there was still a long way to go before he could reach the materialization stage. In fact, these Fire Ant-Men could be absorbed and refined to strengthen his soul, but Yang Wu didn't do so. Once he absorbed these Fire Ant-Men, he might be sensed by the supreme expert. He might even become that person's incarnation. However, some alchemists didn't think so. They also discovered the profoundness of these Fire Ant-Men. After destroying them, they immediately absorbed and refined them to strengthen their own soul. Some alchemists laughed. What pure soul power! Quickly destroy these Fire Ant-Men. I want to break through the soul realm. Another alchemist said, as expected of the alchemy mysterious realm. Just the soul power of these Fire Ant-Men can help us improve our alchemy skills. Thus, many alchemists began to frantically scrape the Fire Ant-Men, shattering them one by one and absorbing them. These Fire Ant-Men weren't to be trifled with. They were numerous, and their fighting strength wasn't weak. Some of the weaker alchemists and martial artists were directly killed. Yang Wu and the others easily broke through the Fire Ant-Men's defensive line and arrived in front of the first Inheritance Tower. A large number of people had already arrived, and many alchemists rushed inside. Among them were the top alchemists, Xin Yuan Shi, Yao Sudong, Hu Jiuyang, and Dan Yanshao. There were also several outstanding young saint alchemists, Yao Wushuang, Dan Li, Yang Honghua, and Xing Jessen. These were all well-known figures among the current saint alchemists. The first few had the potential to step into the ranks of divine alchemists, while the latter few had suddenly emerged as a new force, surpassing many old seniors. Yang Wu and Chao Jifei were also classified as young saint pharmacists, but they were more outstanding than the others. In addition, Yang Wu's disciple, Dan Zi, had also come. However, she was with the people of the Dan clan, so Yang Wu did not have the chance to meet up with her. They all entered the Inheritance Tower one after another and accepted the Inheritance Tower's test. Only then could they stay on the first level of the mountain range and harvest the herbs and inheritances here. Boss, let's go in as well, Meow Meow said impatiently. Okay, let's go in. Yang Wu nodded. Thus, the few of them walked into the first Inheritance Tower together. When they walked into the Inheritance Tower, they were completely separated, and a voice sounded out, "Welcome to the Inheritance Tower. Please choose the herbs in the shortest amount of time and complete the refinement of the 100 Dragon Tyrant Pill. If you reach the standard, you can stay on the first level for 7 days and have the qualifications to enter the second level." In front of Yang Wu, there was a dazzling pile of medicinal herbs. These medicinal herbs were mixed together, and many of them were similar herbs. Wanting to pick them out was not easy, and one had to be proficient in the way of medicine to be able to distinguish them clearly and choose the herbs for the 100-Dragon Tyrant pill from them. The 100-Dragon Tyrant pill was a heaven-level medicinal pill that was extremely difficult to refine. Even if it was a top-notch heavenly alchemist who wanted to refine this kind of medicinal pill, the success rate would be extremely low. Furthermore, this pill formula was relatively rare and was not something that ordinary alchemists could possess. Fortunately, the 100-Dragon Tyrant pill's pill formula was right in front of him. Alchemists with resources could memorize the pill formula with a single glance, but it was not easy to pick out the suitable herbs from the many herbs. This bit of matter was not difficult for Yang Wu. After he looked at the 100-Dragon Tyrant pill's pill formula, he started to choose the herbs. He did not need to move at all. He only needed to use his divine sense to sweep over and pick out one herb after another. In a few blinks of an eye, he sorted out a set of 100-Dragon Tyrant pill's herbs. He did not refine the pill immediately, but looked at the 100-Dragon Tyrant pill again. He muttered to himself for a moment and said, "This pill formula is not complete." Yang Wu was already very proficient in the way of alchemy. Filtering the pill formula over and over again, he kept feeling that something was amiss. Hence, he sat down cross-legged and used the meditation method to start refining the pill, deducing where the flaw of this pill formula was. After he meditated and refined the pill, he very quickly discovered a small flaw in it. He could still refine the 100-Dragon Tyrant pill according to the pill formula, but the success rate would be very low. Furthermore, the medicinal effects of the medicinal pill would not be very good. If he added the heart harmony grass to neutralize the violent nature of the medicinal pill would become even more perfect. After thinking this point through, Yang Wu began to refine the pill. There was an alchemy furnace here, so he did not need to take out his medicinal cauldron to refine the pill. Yang Wu quickly refined a cauldron of 100-Dragon Tyrant pills. When the pill was completed, 100 streaks of dragon chi appeared like true dragons. It was very dazzling and extraordinary. Several bolts of heavenly lightning broke through the air and struck toward Yang Wu and the medicinal pill. This kind of lightning tribulation was not even worthy of scratching Yang Wu's itch. This time, Yang Wu unexpectedly discovered that there were 5 layers of lightning tribulation. The power of the last layer of lightning tribulation was no less than the power of the lightning tribulation attracted by the small divine pill. It seems that after I raise the divine pill to the Emperor tier, it is much easier for me to refine low-level medicinal pills. Moreover, I can reach the level of perfection, Yang Wu said to himself with satisfaction. He took out the medicinal pills and placed them into the slot in front of him. After the medicinal pills disappeared, a voice sounded, "Perfect advancement. You can stay in the first level of the mountain range for 7 days. You can also choose to enter the second level of the assessment." In the next moment, a light flashed and a staircase appeared in front of Yang Wu. It was the passage to the second level. This was not the passage to the second inheritance tower, but the staircase to the second level of the first inheritance tower. Yang Wu walked up the staircase without hesitation and went to the second level. The requirements of the second level were similar to the first level, but the number of herbs on the second level was several times more than the first level. Among these large amounts of herbs, it was very difficult to find the herbs needed for the pill formula. Moreover, there were many similar herbs. If he was not careful, he could choose the wrong one. This level required Yang Wu to refine the soul-returning pill. If it was a test, it would indeed be difficult for many alchemists, but it is not difficult for me, Yang Wu said confidently and began to choose the herbs. After quickly selecting them, he quickly completed the task of refining the pill. The second level of the assessment was passed. The passage to the third level appeared. The third and fourth levels were similar tasks of refining pills, but each level was more difficult than the last. They were all completed by Yang Wu. Finally, when he reached the fifth level, it was not refining pills. Instead, a willpower puppet, Fire Ant-Man, appeared. This Fire Ant-Man had reached the peak of the Heaven Realm and could attack the soul. It would cause damage to any Heaven Realm martial artist. This fire ant-man was directly shattered by Yang Wu's shout. He passed the 5th level and all the levels of the first inheritance tower. The inheritance headed towards Yang Wu's forehead. Congratulations on completing the first inheritance tower's test. You can become a disciple of the Medicine God Temple and receive an inheritance. This inheritance was indeed extraordinary. It contained many Heaven Realm pill formulas, the alchemy methods of the Medicine God Temple, and an ancient visualization diagram for condensing one's willpower. This visualization diagram was the appearance of Shinnong. His soul swallowed heaven and earth, distinguished 10,000 herbs, tasted 10,000 herbs, healed 10,000 people, and used the essence of herbs to strengthen the bodies of his ancestors. This visualization diagram was very crude, but the more he visualized it, the more condensed his consciousness became. It was also compatible with alchemy. Could this be the land of inheritance that Shinnong left behind? Yang Wu asked suspiciously. He did not have time to think too deeply. He was sent out of the inheritance tower and landed outside the tower door. He also had 11 willpower tokens in his hand. He had passed 5 levels and could stay in the first level of the mountain range for 35 days. Saint Master Yang Wu, you passed? Feng Daozi asked. Yang Wu had not been in for long. He had appeared too quickly. The other alchemists who had gone in earlier than him had not yet come out. He was really afraid that Yang Wu had not passed. Yang Wu gave them the tokens and said, "This is the token for staying here. Take it and help me gather herbs in this mountain range. We can stay for a total of 35 days. On the last day, we must go to the second inheritance tower." "Yes, Saint Master Yang Wu," everyone happily replied. Thus, Yang Wu led the 10 of them and took the lead in exploring this mountain range. This mountain range corresponded to the level of the inheritance tower. Most of the items here were of the heaven rank. There were many rare herbs. There were also some fierce beasts and spirit demons guarding these herbs. Yang Wu warned everyone not to harm the fierce beasts and spirit demons here. They only needed to take a portion of the herbs. Everyone obeyed Yang Wu's orders and did not wantonly slaughter the creatures here. After a few days, they harvested a large amount of herbs. At the same time, they also discovered many magnetite veins hidden under the mountain range. It was because of these magnetite veins that large amounts of herbs grew here. They really wanted to extract these veins, but Yang Wu had forbidden them. Once the veins were extracted, the herbs in this mountain range would completely wither. Yang Wu did not want to kill the goose that laid the golden eggs. Yang Wu walked to the halls in the mountain range. These halls were already empty. The alchemy cauldrons that had been left behind had all been taken away by the predecessors. Only a few remnants were left behind. There were also some ancient words carved on the walls. Yang Wu learned from these ancient words that this area was only the outer area of the Medicine God Hall. The Inheritance Tower was where the outer sect disciples took the test. As long as one passed the test on the 5th level, they would become an inner sect disciple and have the right to enter the 2nd level of the mountain range. Yang Wu walked past one hall after another. He also found some halls where martial artists lived. There were even halls that specialized in martial arts. Unfortunately, everything had been taken away. When he did not expect to gain anything good, he unexpectedly found a pleasant surprise. Chapter 1252. The Medicine God Mystic Realm had magnetite veins, large amounts of herbs, and also some remnant inheritances. These were all things that many alchemists normally could not obtain, but they were easily obtainable here. It was just that in Yang Wu's eyes, it was still too ordinary. He only took the herbs and did not take anything else. Only by keeping the magnetite veins could he continue to grow herbs. Even if he knew that the Medicine God Mystic Realm might not be able to open again after this time, he did not want to do something like exterminate everything. Leaving a thread of life in everything, there would be unlimited life in the future. Those remnant inheritances were too low level. Yang Wu only took a cursory glance, and the original inheritances had long been cleared by others. He had to go to the last few levels to take a look. Perhaps only then could he find something that moved him. He unexpectedly discovered some pleasant surprises. A pool of soul-washing spring. Soul-washing spring was a kind of spirit spring that nourished the soul and cleansed the soul. It was very rare. In a valley, there was actually a pool of soul-washing spring. It was truly a great surprise. Soul-washing spring had an effect on living beings below sacred rank. It was also very useful for refining sacred rank soul pills. There was an illusory demon that lived in front of the soul-washing spring and was easily killed by Yangwu. This pool of soul-washing spring was smoothly collected by him. When he collected the soul-washing spring, there were also others who discovered his harvest. A greedy light was smeared across their eyes, but no one dared to rashly make a move. The people around Yangwu were all-powerful. If they really made a move against Yangwu, it would definitely trigger a great war. After Yangwu collected the soul-washing spring, he got up and rushed to the second inheritance tower. He did not go find Chao Jifei, Miao Miao, Yao Miao Miao, or Danzi. He believed that they would all have their own lucky chances. On the way to the second inheritance tower, there was still a large number of fire ant people blocking the way. These fire ant people's combat power was even stronger than the fire ant people from before. Furthermore, they also knew how to arrange troops and formations. Even ordinary saints might not be able to block the explosive power when combined. Yangwu did not want to be entangled with them and charged forcefully to the front of the second inheritance tower. The second inheritance tower was the same as the first inheritance tower. It did not look any different, but the test content was different. The first level is to identify herbs. If you pass, you can stay in the second level of the mountain range for 7 days before you can ascend to the second level. Distinguishing between herbs was a basic requirement that any alchemist must understand. If one didn't even know how to distinguish between herbs, how could they refine pills? Just as Yangwu was wondering why such an important task like identifying herbs wasn't available in the first tower, but only in the second tower, soon he understood the difference between the identification of herbs here and in other places. They were not allowed to look at the herbs with their eyes. They could only taste or smell the herbs and then name the herbs. The requirements for distinguishing herbs were extremely high. It was unknown how many little saint alchemists would fail at this stage. Yangwu took out the black cloth in front of his eyes, covered his eyes, and accepted the first test. When he closed his eyes, a stalk of herb flew towards him. Yangwu reached out and grabbed the herb. He sniffed it lightly and said, "Fishy fish grass." The herb in his hand disappeared, and another herb appeared in its place. Sand ginseng, 7-star flower, blood knot vine. Yangwu passed the first level without any accidents and obtained the opportunity to ascend to the second level. The second level tested fire control. This method of fire control was also to extract the essence of each herb while blindfolded. When the extraction rate was above 90%, he passed. Yangwu had a solid foundation and successfully passed again. After reaching the third level, it was a test of soul power. He had to use his soul power to fight with the fire ant-men. The second tower challenge was a little difficult, but Yangwu passed it successfully in the end. Yangwu obtained the inheritance of this tower and obtained some special secret methods of distinguishing herbs, fire control, soul power, and pill recipes. Yangwu didn't stay on the second level. After handing the token to Jin Haochen, Jin Haoyu, and the others, he directly went to the third tower. This is an ancient sacred land for alchemy. The test here is very interesting. Maybe it can help me reach a higher level. Yangwu was full of anticipation. On the way to the third tower, the fire ant-men that appeared were even stronger. Every one of them had the combat power of a saint. So many fire ant-men were formed by the condensation of willpower. What kind of person could leave behind such willpower? Yangwu thought to himself. The third tower was completely different from the previous 2 towers. This time, it was a learning test. The first level was a fire control palm technique. Within 3 days, one had to comprehend the microscopic stage to be able to proceed to the second level. This fire control palm technique was very exquisite. For warriors who didn't have their own true fire, as long as they learned this fire control palm technique, They could use the borrowed flames to perfection. Moreover, this fire control palm technique had a lot of combat power. It was also a combat skill. Yang Wu meditated quietly. In less than a day, he completely comprehended this fire control palm technique. There were a total of 49 variations, and he knew all of them. This fire control palm technique is even more exquisite than the Dan clan's mystical flame technique. Yang Wu came to a conclusion. He paused for a moment and then said, maybe I should calm down and practice this fire control palm technique. Yang Wu didn't immediately head to the second level. He had 3 days, so he used the remaining 2 days to perfect this set of palm technique. As he continued to comprehend, he increasingly understood that this palm technique was different from the rest. Many variations occurred again. In the end, he concluded with a sentence, no matter how many variations there are, they still remain the same. No matter how his fire control palm technique changed, it all followed a pattern. It would definitely achieve the desired effect. Simplifying palm technique. This was truly a palm technique that went from simple to complex, and finally from complex to simple. Great Tao was simple. This was probably the case. After comprehending this principle, Yang Wuming's thoughts became much clearer. If there is a day when I don't have the help of the heart fire, I can use this palm technique to control the fire well, Yang Wu said confidently. Then, he stepped into the second level. This level was to learn a soul secret technique. This was an amazing soul secret technique. One had to cultivate it within 7 days to pass the test. Yang Wu also calmly comprehended this soul secret technique. He found that it was a bit lacking compared to the Soul Control Heart Sutra. No, it should be said that this wasn't the ultimate soul secret technique. It was only a part of it. Soul Tactics, this name was the same as the simplifying palm technique. It was simple and clear. It was a true soul secret technique. The Soul Tactics was divided into 3 parts. They were human soul, earth soul, and heaven soul. The human soul was still in the divine court. Only after cultivating a soul embryo would it be considered a large success. The earth soul was the growth period of the soul embryo. It could condense a soul body, and it could also condense a soul fragment. It could also use one's will to form an object. It had the ability to leave one's body to fight. The heaven soul was to transform the soul into the heavens. Every part of the world was a soul existence. It could control the world. This was a profound soul secret technique. It seemed to be much more advanced than the Soul Control Heart Sutra. It was a pity that there was only the human soul secret technique here. The other 2 secret techniques weren't here. There are great opportunities in this place. Yang Wu finally took the Inheritance Towers test seriously. The Soul Control Heart Sutra that Little Hay had passed on to him was once called the most advanced soul secret technique of the soul race by Little Hay. Now, this Soul Tactics wasn't inferior to it all. It was even more advanced. Could it be that the fire ant people that are everywhere here are formed after cultivating the Soul Tactics to the extreme? Yang Wu stepped onto the 3rd floor with a stomach full of doubts. Kid, learn how to refine healing pills for me. When you can refine a 3rd tribulation pill, you pass. A phantom appeared. His appearance couldn't be seen clearly. He spoke to Yang Wu and controlled the herbs to refine the pills. As the phantom practiced, he explained the basic elements of refining pills to Yang Wu, as well as the order of adding the ingredients. At first, Yang Wu didn't think much of it. He didn't know how many times he had refined healing pills. Even if he closed his eyes, he could refine them. Why would he need to learn from others? However, as the phantom continued to talk about the basic elements of refining pills, he gradually became fascinated. The medicinal properties are different. Adding the ingredients into the medicine is not only based on the quantity, but also the order. The main ingredient should be added first, and the auxiliary ingredients should be added later. The monarch and his minister are clearly distinguished. Yang Wu had noticed the ratio of quantity when he was refining pills, but he didn't think that there would be a difference between the monarch and his minister. He had always refined the lower grade herbs first, then refined the higher grade herbs, and finally fused them with the power of the demon core. Now, the phantom was refining pills differently. He first refined the main ingredient, then added the auxiliary ingredients, and finally fused them together. After the Phantom finished refining a furnace of pills, 49 top-grade minor saint pills appeared perfectly. Moreover, they were all grade 3 pills. This illusory figure was only a will avatar and not a real existence. But even so, Yang Wu didn't doubt the other party's alchemy ability at all. It was truly extraordinary. Do you remember everything? You have 3 chances to refine pills. If you fail 3 times, you will be eliminated. The Phantom asked Yang Wu. Yes. Yang Wu nodded and replied. Good. Let's begin. The Phantom replied. The herbs and furnace appeared in front of Yang Wu. These were all real. The Inheritance Tower was controlling everything. Yang Wu began to refine pills, and his mind kept recalling the refining method of the virtual shadow. He had used the basics of the simplified palm technique and soul tactics to refine pills, as well as the various techniques that he had explained. All of them had a kind of comprehension of simplicity. Yang Wu slowed down every step. He wasn't afraid of making mistakes. Instead, he tried his best to learn from the Phantom's method of refining pills. He felt that this method was better than his usual method of refining pills. He wanted to learn from the Phantom's strong points to make up for his weaknesses. The alchemy knowledge that Xiao He passed on to him was indeed very rich, but there was no standard alchemy method. Yang Wu had to observe Xiao He's alchemy method and the alchemy method that he came into contact with later. Now that there was a better alchemy method, he naturally had to learn with an open mind. After he finished refining the pills according to the steps, he refined 41 healing pills. This was the highest number of pills he had ever refined. Chapter 1253. The third Inheritance Tower was where Yang Wu spent the most time. Just like the other 2 Inheritance Towers, there were 5 floors in total. Every floor taught alchemy techniques. Even though time was limited, Yang Wu still used up every day before going to the next floor. Yang Wu gained a lot from the alchemy techniques on every floor. He realized that alchemy wasn't a crude and simple job. Instead, it was an extremely meticulous job. The better one paid attention to every detail, the higher the quality of the pills refined. A large number of alchemists in the transcendent world could only refine 3 tribulation pills because they didn't put enough effort into it. Every step was for pleasure and beauty. They neglected many details, such as the ratio of the herb's essence, the distinction between master and servant, and the various details to pay attention to when fusing the pills. In the third Inheritance Tower, Yang Wu relearned alchemy and felt that his entire person had been elevated. On the 5th floor, he could even refine 5 tribulation little saint pills. The quality was really unimaginable. This place was indeed worthy of being the Medicine God Temple's inheritance ground. If anyone truly accepted the inheritance of these 5 Inheritance Towers, it would be difficult for them not to become an outstanding alchemist. When Yang Wu was in the 3rd Inheritance Tower, other alchemists also came. Among them were Yang Wu's enemies, Yao Wushuang and Yao Xiaobo. Although Yao Wushuang was sent to face the wall for 100 years, it was impossible for him not to come to such an important place like the Medicine God Temple. At worst, it wouldn't be too late to face the wall after he left here. Other than the 2 of them, there were also top-notch alchemists attached to the medicine sect. They all had followers by their side, and each of them had an incomparably shocking aura. None of them were weaker than the Star Rune Realm. When they arrived in front of the Inheritance Tower and saw Yang Wu's followers, their eyes revealed dense killing intent. Grand Uncle, I want them all dead. Yao Wushuang transmitted a message to Yao Xiaobo. Yao Xiaobo nodded lightly and said, after we enter the Inheritance Tower, let them take action. Not only do we want to kill Yang Wu, but we also want everyone else to die here. He paused for a moment and said, however, we can't use our people. Otherwise, if this matter is exposed, we will have no place in the Alchemist Union. What brilliant plan does Grand Uncle have? Yao Wushuang asked again. Someone will do it for us. Yao Xiaobo sneered. The 2 of them entered the Tower of Inheritance together and did not allow the follower in Yang Wu to act rashly. Feng Daozi's senses were extraordinary. and he transmitted a message to the others. Be careful, everyone. It seems that someone is preparing to make a move on us. Who dares to attack us? Do you want to die? Lu Jingtian replied. The strength of these 10 people was absolutely at the top of the pharmacist's entourage. Wanting to find another 10 people to deal with them was not so easy. Just as Lu Jingtian finished speaking, someone ordered, "Kill all of Yang Wu's men." The one who gave the order was shockingly an unknown alchemist. The strength of the 10 attendants by his side was also no small matter. Just as he finished speaking, another voice rang out from another direction. "Kill all of Yang Wu's men. Kill all of Yang Wu's men." Suddenly, 5 alchemists gave the order to deal with the 10 attendants of Yang Wu's men. Fang Daozi, Ren Xiaofeng, Jin Yuchen, Jin Yuhao, and the others all revealed solemn expressions. They were very strong, but facing the siege of people who outnumbered them by 5 to 1, they were somewhat uncertain. "What are you waiting for? Kill them!" Nangong Shiqin shouted in alarm. This widow was very strong, and her attacks were also very ruthless. She raised a hidden weapon in her hand and shot it at the saints who were surrounding them. The others also finally made a move. The impact of the battle between the dozens of saints was very big, and earth-shattering shockwaves were constantly bombarding the area. Fang Daozi was the strongest, and his combat strength was also the strongest. He thought that it would be easy for him to kill a few people by himself. Who knew that there would be a saint who was on par with him in terms of strength in the enemy's camp? The saint appeared with a half-step Heaven Ascension combat weapon and forced him to retreat. Seeing that the situation was not good, Fang Daozi actually broke out of the encirclement and fled. He did not dare to fight these people head-on. Ren Xiaofeng, Nangong Shiqin, Jin Yu, and the others continued to fight fiercely. The 2 brothers, Jin Yuchen and Jin Yuhao, had no choice but to brace themselves and continue to fight. If they escaped, Yang Wu would definitely be suppressed by these people when Yang Wu came out. Fan Qingli, Li Xiangru, and Wu Ximin began to face danger. They also wanted to break out of the encirclement and escape, but unfortunately, they were not as strong as Fang Daozi. If they delayed any longer, they would definitely die. The worst thing was that a traitor had appeared at the critical moment. Jin Yu suddenly charged toward Ren Xiaofeng and Nangong Shiqin, severely injuring them. This time, everyone was in despair. Not only did the enemy outnumber them, but there was also a traitor. They could not continue fighting this battle. "Brother, let's break out of the encirclement." Jin Yuhao anxiously transmitted his voice to his brother. Jin Yuchen replied, "It's too late. I didn't expect them to set up such a trap. I'm afraid that Saint Master Yang Wu's trip this time bodes ill rather than well." After a pause, he roared, "Everyone, let's break out of the encirclement first. We'll kill these bastards another day." Jin Yuchen was a rational person. He had already realized that if they stayed, they would definitely die. If they stubbornly defended, they would die. If they broke out of the encirclement, they would survive. Even if Yang Wu was here, he believed that he would not blame them. "Haha, you can't escape. You're all going to die here." The saint who had just forced Fang Daozi to leave laughed maniacally. This person was a famous ferocious person on the wanted list. His name was Xiannu. Rumor had it that he worshipped an evil sword as his master and willingly became its slave. It only took Xiannu 200 years to rise from an ordinary saint to a pinnacle saint. The speed of growth was too fast for many saints. Xiannu had killed many people from large factions and was wanted by them. Unfortunately, no one had been able to kill him. Who would have thought that he would appear here? Aside from Xiannu, there were 2 other very powerful people. They were Qiu Shud and Lin Yushuan. The former was a famous saint, while the latter was an expert who had risen to the top. They had both reached the 12th level of the astral rune realm. They were also top figures on the wanted list. It was not an easy thing for such people to gather together. This also showed that some people were determined to kill Yang Wu. Li Xiangru was killed by the 3 saints. Fan Qingli could not break out of the encirclement either. Lin Yushuan shot his head with his longbow and killed him. The death of 2 saints put a lot of pressure on Ren Xiaofeng and Nangong Shiqin. They were prepared to escape at all costs. The others could not help them anymore. Jin Yuqin and Jin Yuhao were also in despair. If they could increase their strength a little more, it would be easy for them to escape in the face of such a desperate situation. Now that they were surrounded by layers of enemies, they were like lambs waiting to be slaughtered. Just as they were about to be surrounded, the inheritance tower flashed. A figure rushed out of the tower. This person was none other than Yang Wu, who had just completed the learning test on the 5th level. Yang Wu immediately saw the scene of his entourage being besieged, and his anger instantly soared to the sky. How dare you? How dare you touch this young master's people? Saint Master Yang Wu, run. There are so many of them. We can't stop them, Ren Xiaofeng shouted. Nangong Shiqin also shouted, Saint Master Yang Wu, we can't help you anymore. Jin Yu is a traitor. Hurry up and leave. Jin Yuqin, Jin Yuhao, Lu Jingtian, and Wu Ximin also shouted for Yang Wu to leave quickly while they could still hold on for a while. The evil slave stared at Yang Wu and said with a sinister smile, Yang Wu, this will be your burial ground. Go and take him down. I don't care whether he lives or dies. Xiao also shouted, kill Yang Wu first. Lin Yushuan didn't say anything. He waved his hand at the people beside him and signaled them to attack Yang Wu. When most of the saints were attacking Yang Wu, the pressure on Ren Xiaofeng, Nangong Shiqin, Jin Yuqin, Jin Yuhao, Lu Jingtian, and Wu Ximin was greatly reduced. They finally had a chance to escape. Among the 6 of them, only Lu Jingtian was trying his best to escape. The others didn't. Instead, they went to ask for help from Yang Wu. A person's heart was revealed during a crisis. Now was the time to test it. You want to kill me? I'll kill all of you first, Yang Wu shouted coldly. Before Yang Wu entered the divine medicine mystic realm, he felt that there would definitely be people who wouldn't give up and wanted to kill him here. This time, he must kill these people and let them know what kind of person Yang Wu was. Only then would he be able to intimidate these scoundrels and make them not dare to send people to their deaths so easily. The person who rushed over first slashed at Yang Wu's head with a saber. A golden light broke through 10,000 zhang and arrived above Yang Wu's head in the blink of an eye. Yang Wu looked at the saber and stretched out his hand to pull the saber light away. His other hand punched out like a dragon. That person only felt as if a giant dragon had appeared in front of him. He didn't even have the chance to escape. He was swallowed by the giant dragon and died an unnatural death. In addition, 2 other people attacked Yang Wu from different directions. These people had reached the strength of the intermediate saint realm. Their attacking speed was extremely fast, and they also carried a strong star power. They were quite unstoppable. Yang Wu will send you on your way. From today onwards, there will be no more Yang Wu. The 2 of them were extremely confident and felt that they could kill Yang Wu instantly. Who do you think you are? Yang Wu's eyes flashed with coldness. He released the power of lightning from his body. A field of electric forks not only drowned the 2 of them, but also the dozens of saints who were rushing over. Rumble, rumble. The destructive power of lightning wreaked havoc in the area, causing the heavens and earth to change color. Especially those who were not shrouded in the electric fork's magnetic field, they all felt a chill that surged from the soles of their feet to the top of their heads. They realized that Yang Wu's horror was beyond their expectations. When they came back to their senses, the electric forks had disappeared. The dozens of people who were enveloped by the electric forks had turned into ashes. Chapter 1254. Those who were still alive were completely shocked. In just one move, more than a dozen saints were turned into ashes. Just what kind of terrifying power could do this? Yang Wu was like a god of war who controlled thunder and lightning, exuding an extremely powerful aura. His sharp gaze swept across those who wanted to kill him, and those people instantly shuddered. Before they could react, the nether ice wing blades shot out from nowhere. The 2 pairs of nether ice wing blades split into 2, instantly taking the lives of 2 saints. Come on, didn't you want to kill me? What are you all standing there for? Yang Wu walked toward those people step by step, and a terrifying killing intent spread out in all directions. From the moment we came here, our mission was to take his head. Use your ultimate moves. Either he dies or we die. Xiao said faintly. In the next moment, he took out a battle weapon and charged toward Yang Wu. Qiu should have been a famous figure for a long time. He had already comprehended his own martial arts. He blasted out a move, and a mighty giant wave rushed towards Yang Wu. Wave martial path. Qiu was like the sea dragon king, stepping on the waves. The turbulent waves could drown all life. As he attacked, the other saints did not dare to be negligent. They had already come in with their lives. If they could not kill Yang Wu, they would return with their heads. Clock tower suppression. Twin snakes coiling sky. Ice world. None of these saints were easy to deal with. When they attacked with all their might, the lethality caused by their attacks changed the color of heaven and earth. Yang Wu looked at these attacks, and a thick disdain flashed across his face. These attacks were too slow in his eyes. The nether ice wing blades weaved through their attacks like an antelope's horn, instantly chopping off their heads. The invisible attacks were overbearing and strange. It was really impossible to guard against. At the same time, Yang Wu faced Qiu head-on, and the black tortoise armor appeared on his body. When Qiu's attacks landed on the armor, the powerful deflecting force directly dissipated these attacks, and there was no way for them to touch him. Qiu's eyes widened. He really could not believe that his all-out attack could not do anything to Yang Wu. He roared, and 12 star patterns flashed. A majestic star power broke through the air, forming an ocean. Countless huge waves formed water dragons that rushed toward Yang Wu. This was the combat power of a pinnacle saint, and also all of Qiu's combat power. If it were any other saints, they would not be able to withstand such an attack. Yang Wu faced these attacks and swung his fist. It was like a black tortoise breaking out of the water, smashing these water dragons into pieces. The way of the black tortoise. Yang Wu's comprehension of the black tortoise Tao was getting deeper and deeper. His combat strength was no longer the same as before. Qiu was afraid. Seeing the ferocious Yang Wu coming at him, he retreated and shouted, "What are you all waiting for? Come and kill him." Lin Yuxuan attacked, holding a bow and using a battle spear as an arrow. He shot an arrow at Yang Wu. The spear streaked across the sky like a rainbow, and in the blink of an eye, it was in front of Yang Wu. It turned into a python and tried to swallow Yang Wu. Xian Nu sneered and slashed out with his evil sword, forming the image of an evil demon. Accompanied by gusts of cold wind, the rotten energy rushed toward Yang Wu. Xian Nu was the strongest, and he was a pinnacle saint. With a half-step saint weapon, he could fight against a half-step saint. Yang Wu's body was like a dragon, and his speed was extremely fast. He ignored Lin Yuxuan and Xian Nu's attacks and continued to chase after Qiu. He threw out another martial god's fist, and the space was shattered. Qiu tried his best to block, but his saint armor was still shattered. His chest caved in, and he spat out blood. Yang Wu displayed the strongest black tortoise Tao and blocked Lin Yuxuan and Xian Nu's attacks. His body swayed like a black tortoise, and he suppressed the two with torrential power. Yang Wu was only at the 6th level of the Star Mark realm, but his fighting strength was stronger than any pinnacle saint. Punch after punch, the sky trembled. Lin Yuxuan was forced to retreat, and only Xian Nu could fight Yang Wu head-on. "Your head is mine." Xian Nu's eyes were filled with a thick evil aura. Evil, sword Empyrean. Xian Nu could become one with the evil sword, and his fighting strength was shocking. Yang Wu's defense was almost broken by Xian Nu's attack. He was surprised. This person is a bit strange. The evil sword qi that filled the sky enveloped Yang Wu. Streaks of sword qi rained down, making Yang Wu feel as if he had entered the black tortoise sword pool once again, facing countless powerful sword qi. Xian Nu's move was not much weaker than Yang Wu's electric fork magnetic field. On the other hand, Lin Yuxuan muttered some incantations, summoning more than a dozen foreign race puppets, and they surrounded Yang Wu. These puppets were death puppets, and they were not afraid of pain or death. They were very difficult to deal with. There were also a few saints who were secretly shooting arrows from time to time, and they were determined to exhaust Yang Wu to death. Some of Yang Wu's followers were also calling out to them, and they were unable to help Yang Wu. Yang Wu was surrounded by enemies. Xiannu, Lin Yuxuan, Qiu Shud, and the others were envious of him. In their opinion, their combined strength was enough to kill a half-step into the heaven-piercing realm. What ability did Yang Wu have to escape from their hands? Put in more effort to kill him. Xiannu shouted, "Leave his corpse intact. I want to refine him into a puppet," Lin Yuxuan said eagerly. "Haha, do you really think you can defeat me? Let me show you what despair is." Yang Wu laughed wildly, and his body suddenly grew bigger. Bigger, bigger. In the blink of an eye, Yang Wu grew from 70 feet tall to 30 feet tall, and soon to 50 feet tall, until he reached a height of 99 feet. A terrifying aura swept out in all directions, completely neutralizing the power of the incoming attacks. As his body grew bigger, the black tortoise armor also grew bigger, and its defensive power became even more terrifying. Many attacks could not pose much of a threat to him. The surrounding saints were stunned by Yang Wu's transformation. What kind of divine ability was Yang Wu's secret skill? They had never seen or heard of it before. Yang Wu first punched at the evil slave. This punch was as heavy as Mount Tai, and instantly fell on the evil slave's head. Xiannu roared and merged with his evil sword to slash at Yang Wu's huge fist. Bang! Under the collision of the two moves, Xiannu's sword chi was shattered. The fist continued to press down, and Xiannu was sent flying while vomiting blood. It was unknown whether he was dead or alive. Yang Wu did not wait for the others to come back to their senses, and he punched again. This punch landed on Lin Yuxuan. This person's threat was not inferior to Xiannu's. Block him! Lin Yuxuan was scared out of his wits. He controlled the puppet to block Yang Wu's gigantic fist. Bang! Bang! Dozens of Xiannu's puppets were turned into paper paste by Yang Wu's punch. The power of Yang Wu's fist was too domineering, and it was comparable to the strength of the connecting heaven realm. This was the true fighting power of a saint physique. Just now, Yang Wu was just warming up with them, and now he was serious. Lin Yuxuan saw that his puppet had been destroyed, and he turned around to escape without hesitation. At this moment, Yang Wu was invincible, and they did not have the ability to challenge him. Unfortunately, he could not escape far. Yang Wu's fist was like a mountain, and it directly destroyed him. Qiu Shud and the others were also scared to death. Without hesitation, they split up and ran as fast as they could. If they stayed, only death would await them. Yang Wu stretched out a huge palm and slapped Qiu Shud down from the sky. As for the others, they were slapped into pools of blood like flies. Yang Wu's attack was too violent, and there was no reason for it at all. Is this Saint Master Yang Wu's true strength? Ren Xiaofeng was very shocked. Nangong Shiqin also cried out, "Looks like we've found a powerful backer. He's too powerful." Jinyu, who was fighting Ren Xiaofeng and Nangong Shiqin, was scared out of his wits. He did not dare to stay any longer, and he frantically ran away, cursing in his heart, "I'm going to be killed by the Xing family." Jinyu had joined Yang Wu's entourage because he had been bribed by the Xing family. At the critical moment, he had given Yang Wu a blow to the head. Now, it was too late for regrets. If I let you escape, would I still be able to survive? Yang Wu had already locked onto Jinyu. He raised his foot and directly traversed a large distance, stomping down furiously toward Jinyu. PFFF. Jinyu felt as if he had been electrocuted, and he spat out a mouthful of blood from Yang Wu's stomp. He tumbled to the ground, and his spine was completely shattered. Even if he did not die, he would become a cripple. At the same time, the Netherworld Ice Wing Blade continued to kill, and all the other saints who were still alive were killed. None of them could escape from Yang Wu's pursuit. Some of the saint apothecaries and their entourage, who were just about to enter the third inheritance tower, were extremely astonished when they saw this scene. Who is this giant? Could it be that he's the guardian of the third inheritance tower? Don't be silly. That's Saint Master Yang Wu. Is he a human or not? How did he become so big? He might have the blood of the giant tribe flowing in his body. He's too powerful. Is he going to wipe out all of us? Those who want to kill him are all unlucky. The battle to kill Yang Wu came to an end in a hurry. Yang Wu only left two alive. They were Qiu, Shud, and Jinyu. Yang Wu tossed them to Ren Xiaofeng and Nan Gongxiqin. I don't care what method you used. I want to know who sent them. Yes, my lord. Ren Xiaofeng, Nan Gongxiqin, and the others replied respectfully. Jin Yuqin and Jin Yuhao approached Yang Wu and said guiltily, "We're sorry, my lord." They were the ones who had invited Jin Yu here, so they had an unshirkable responsibility. Moreover, after witnessing Yang Wu's domineering battle prowess, their competitive spirit was completely extinguished. You'll be punished if you're wrong. Next, you have to find at least 10,000 herbs here for me. Otherwise, you'll suffer, Yang Wu said sternly. Yes, my lord. The two brothers breathed a sigh of relief. Yang Wu was clearly not going to pursue their mistakes. It was too easy for them to find 10,000 herbs in this mountain range. Under Ren Xiaofeng and Nan Gongxiqin's harsh interrogation, Yang Wu obtained the answers he wanted. Chapter 1255. Yang Wu's enemies were none other than the Xing family and the king of Hell's Palace. Yang Wu was not surprised that they were involved, but he was displeased that a third party was involved. The alchemist followers of the Purple Firmament Palace and Kunlun were also involved. They were all from powerful forces, and they also wanted Yang Wu's life. Yang Wu's eyes were filled with killing intent. Does everyone think that I'm a pushover? At that moment, the third inheritance tower flashed, and someone was teleported out. It was Su Gu, an alchemist from the Purple Firmament Palace. He was a famous high-level alchemist. He could not pass the first level of the third inheritance tower. The reason was simple. He was too old. People who were over 1,000 years old could not set foot in the third inheritance tower. The inheritance tower of the Medicine God Palace only nurtured outstanding young alchemists, and Su Gu was no longer among the young. His people were among those followers just now. Nan Gongxiqin was a very vengeful woman. She would make things difficult for anyone who did not make things easy for her. Su Gu looked in Yang Wu's direction. There was a hint of panic in his eyes, but he quickly calmed down. He cursed in his heart. Where are those pieces of trash? Yang Wu said to Nan Gongxiqin, take him down. You can do whatever you want with him. All right, watch how I deal with this old man, Nan Gongxiqin said excitedly. Ren Xiaofeng, Lu Jingtian, Jin Yuqin, Jin Yuhao, Wu Ximin, and the others rushed over. They were all holding back their anger. They naturally had to kill their enemies. Otherwise, their other two companions would have died in vain. When Su Gu saw the people rushing over, a hint of panic flashed across his face. What do you want? You're very bad, old man. I'm going to deal with you now, Nan Gongxiqin said sternly while holding her pair of sabers. If you dare to touch a single hair on my head, the Purple Firmament Palace will confiscate your property, Su Gu said sternly. The Purple Firmament Palace was one of the most powerful forces in the transcendent world. Its deterrence was quite shocking. Nan Gongxiqin and the others were frightened by Su Gu's words. Did they dare to touch someone from the Purple Firmament Palace? Kill him. If anything happens, I'll take care of it, Yang Wu said coldly. Yang Wu, don't you dare. Su Gu replied with a trembling voice. His figure quickly flew up as he wanted to leave this place. With your words, I'm relieved. Nan Gongxiqin was also a very decisive woman. After shouting, she quickly charged toward Su Gu. Su Gu had the strength of a high-level saint, but his combat strength wasn't very strong. He wasn't Nan Gongxiqin's opponent at all. However, if he wanted to escape, Nan Gongxiqin couldn't stop him. At the crucial moment, Ren Xiaofeng also made a move. It was not difficult for two peak-level saints to kill a high-level saint apothecary. You're rebelling. Our Purple Firmament Hall won't let you go. Su Gu repeatedly parried, but he was still cut down by Nan Gongxiqin's domineering dual sabers. When the surrounding people saw this scene, the way they looked at Yang Wu changed. Not only was Yang Wu powerful, but he was also audacious. He had simply brought a calamity upon the Yang family. Having the enemy of the Xing family wasn't enough. With the addition of the Purple Firmament Hall, would the Yang family still have a way out? Chao Jifei appeared beside Yang Wu and said, "Don't you feel that this is impulsive?" Yang Wu replied indifferently, "Their sabers are already on my neck. Am I not allowed to fight back?" "Then, have you not considered her?" Chao Jifei asked again. "She will understand." Yang Wu replied calmly. After pausing for a moment, he emphasized, "She will always be on my side." Chao Jifei looked at Yang Wu's resolute gaze, and for some reason, her heart slightly clenched. She said, "I'll go in first." "Go on. You can learn a lot in this inheritance tower." Yang Wu nodded slightly. Chao Jifei entered the inheritance tower. Soon, Yao Miao Miao and Miao Miao also arrived. It wasn't too difficult for the two of them to pass the first two inheritance towers. They were both natural-born alchemists. Yang Wu only exchanged a few simple words with them before continuing to wait for the others. 5 alchemists had ordered his death. There was no way he would let them leave this place alive. A day later, 2 alchemists came out. When they saw Yang Wu, they were shocked and fled without hesitation. Unfortunately, Yang Wu didn't give them a chance to live. Ren Xiaofeng and Nan Gongxiqin killed them. 3 days later, the alchemist of the Xing family, Xing Yashang, came out. Xing Yashang was the first person Yang Wu had stepped on when he joined the Alchemist Union. At that time, he wanted to suppress Yang Wu with his alchemy skills. In the end, he lost to Yang Wu and lost his position as the Holy Elder of the Alchemist Union. Yang Wu. When Xing Yashang saw Yang Wu, his eyes became filled with fear. "Are you surprised that I didn't die?" Yang Wu sneered at Xing Yashang. "I don't know what you're talking about," Xing Yashang replied. He wanted to walk past Yang Wu. "You want to kill my subordinates and then kill me? You don't have the guts to admit it now. It's embarrassing for a holy alchemist to do what you did. Send him on his way," Yang Wu said disdainfully. Ren Xiaofeng, Nan Gongxiqin, and the others immediately rushed over to kill Xing Yashang. They had already decided to follow Yang Wu to the end. There was no turning back. They could only continue down this path. "You dare to kill me? Aren't you afraid of the Xing family's revenge?" Xing Yashang asked, his body trembling. "Is the Xing family as scary as the Purple Firmament Hall?" Ren Xiaofeng asked. "Even if it's as scary as the Purple Firmament Hall, we'll still kill you," Nan Gongxiqin said domineeringly. Their attacks were earth-shattering, wanting to kill Xing Yashang in an instant. "Do you really think you can kill me? How naive." Xing Yashang suddenly shouted and tore apart a divine decree. Swoosh! Suddenly, a terrifying aura soared into the sky, and a hazy figure appeared. That majestic aura was extremely shocking. "Ancestor, they want to kill me," Xing Yashang said respectfully to the figure that appeared. Ren Xiaofeng and Nan Gongxiqin were shocked by this aura. This was a clone of Tong Tian, not an ordinary clone of a saint. How could they resist it? Even if they had the strength of a top-notch saint, they were still far from being able to fight such an existence. "How dare you attack a member of my Xing family? Die," the hazy figure said faintly. The hazy figure said faintly and sent out a huge palm strike that enveloped Ren Xiaofeng, Nan Gongxiqin, and the others. Just as they were about to retreat, a sword light tore through the air. Swoosh! The sword light was like a rainbow, carrying the power of a star as it tore through the air. In the blink of an eye, it broke through the huge palm energy and slashed towards the hazy figure. Impudent! The figure cursed and was about to retaliate, but it was too late. He was cut in half by the power of the sword and completely disappeared from the world. Xing Yashang stared at this scene with wide eyes, completely dumbfounded. He had summoned a clone of Tong Tian, and even a half-step Tong Tian would be suppressed. How could it not even withstand the power of a sword? Could it be that he had just obtained a fake divine decree? The second sword slashed over. Xing Yashang couldn't see the trajectory of the sword at all, and he was instantly cut in half. "If you want to kill me, Yang Wu, then bring it on," Yang Wu said calmly. Some of the people in the vicinity instantly scattered like birds and beasts. Yang Wu was too strong, and he was also so fierce. It was better to leave early to avoid being misunderstood and being killed. Ren Xiaofeng, Nan Gongxiqin, Jin Yuchen, Jin Yuhao, and Wu Simin all looked at Yang Wu with reverence, as expected of the invincible youth emperor. After breaking through to the Star Rune realm, he was ready to suppress the older generation. The last alchemist from Yama's palace came out. This was a top-notch alchemist. Yang Wu originally wanted to keep him alive and control him for his own use. Who knew that this alchemist would be so domineering and directly self-destruct? Yang Wu was almost killed by this move of his opponent. Ren Xiaofeng, Nangong Shiqin, and the others were also affected and were injured all over. If Yang Wu hadn't reacted quickly enough, they would have died without a doubt. This guy isn't human. We didn't want to kill him, but he wanted to drag us down with him. Jin Yuhao couldn't help but curse. The people from Yama's palace are really ruthless. Perhaps he's already been controlled by someone else and has no choice, Ren Xiaofeng muttered. All right, let's leave this place first, Yang Wu said. They didn't come here to kill these people, but to obtain the treasures in the Medicine God Temple. They had already obtained the qualifications to stay in the third layer of the mountain range, so they couldn't keep wasting time here. After Yang Wu's group left, Yao Wushuang and Yao Xiaobo walked out of the inheritance tower. In fact, they had already come out, but they didn't show their faces. They had been hiding at the entrance of the inheritance tower to watch the show. The more they watched, the colder their hearts became. If Yang Wu knew that they had participated in the operation to deal with him, their end would be very miserable. Yang Wu was someone who didn't play by the rules. He wasn't afraid of any power and would kill everyone. He probably didn't care whether they were from the Alchemist Alliance or not. This person is too savage. Once we leave the Medicine God Temple, there will be no place for him to stay. Yao Wushuang gnashed his teeth. His power has already been established. If we can't get rid of him here, I'm afraid we won't be able to stop his momentum. Yao Xiaobo sighed. He paused for a moment and said, "Why don't we just let it go? Anyway, Miao Miao has a good relationship with him. He probably doesn't know that we want to deal with him. In the future, we should try to be on good terms with him. It will be more beneficial for our medicine sect." Yao Xiaobo was afraid. Yang Wu had even killed the clone of a deity. He already had the potential to become a godly alchemist. Once he reached that step, he would have an unshakable position in the transcendent world. Who would dare to kill him? Impossible. If he exists, I will not exist. If I exist, he will not exist. Yao Wushuang said with a thick sense of jealousy. He liked Chao Jifei. They had always had a good relationship. Ever since Yang Wu appeared, there were cracks in their relationship. In his opinion, all of this was because of Yang Wu. If Yang Wu hadn't appeared, Chao Jifei would definitely be his woman. Jealousy twisted people and caused them to lose their lives. Chapter 1256. The third level of the Divine Medicine Hall was the real treasure trove. Although the first two levels of the mountain range contained many rare treasures, they were far inferior to the third level. There were countless ancient herbs here, as well as some rare items that were rarely seen in the outside world. For example, the thousand-leaf flower, which was a sacred flower that had grown for thousands of years. Every leaf was equivalent to an ordinary sacred medicine, and 1,000 leaves were not inferior to an ordinary divine medicine. Another example was the nine-hand melon, which was a fruit that looked like a hand. It was very strange and contained a very powerful energy. Eating one melon could raise one's cultivation by 2 or 3 levels. Unfortunately, it was only effective for warriors who cultivated wood xianqi. Another example was the willow vine that grew on the edge of the cliff. It could help people refine the toughest meridians, and every section of it was a great medicine. Ren Xiaofeng, Nangong Shiqin, Lu Jingtian, Jin Yuchen, Jin Yuhao, and Wu Simin were all excited. They drooled when they saw the sacred items and neglected the ferocious beasts and spirit demons guarding this place. As a result, they suffered a great loss. There were powerful, sacred, level ferocious beasts and spirit demons everywhere. Every step was filled with danger. If they were not careful, they would lose their lives here. Yang Wu led them all the way to the palaces. These palaces were very well preserved. The inheritances inside should still be there. Even if someone had come here before, they did not take the inheritances away. There were many ferocious beasts and spirit demons in front of the palaces. They did not want Yang Wu and his group to go near them. They had occupied this place for many years. How could they allow humans to invade? With every step Yang Wu took, he threw a punch. He killed a ferocious beast with one punch and sent a spirit demon flying with one kick. No one could compare to his imposing manner. Alchemy can be simplified. It's the same for combat skills. One punch and one kick is enough to kill an enemy, Yang Wu murmured. Not long after, they arrived in front of the palaces. The huge palaces were filled with vicissitudes. Two huge pillars rose into the sky. There were dragons and phoenixes carved on them. They looked very lifelike and mighty. In addition, there were two giant fire ant-men standing guard in the center, each holding a weapon. When they saw Yang Wu and his group, intense killing intent flashed across their eyes. "Those who enter the palace will die," the fire ant-man shouted in a hoarse voice. "These two fire ant people are very strong. You guys be careful," Yang Wu reminded the people around him. As soon as he finished speaking, the two fire ant-men charged toward them with their weapons in hand. "Sect Master Run, show me some of your skills, and let the Lord see how strong I am," Nangong Shichin said loudly to Ren Xiaofeng. Ren Xiaofeng replied excitedly, "That's how it should be." In the next moment, Nangong Shichin slashed out an extremely ferocious saber beam at the fire ant-man. Ren Xiaofeng, on the other hand, formed an earthen yellow giant. He gathered a large amount of earthen yellow energy and blasted it toward the fire ant-man. Lu Jingtian, Jin Yuchen, Jin Yuhao, and Wu Ximin wanted to help, but were stopped by Yang Wu. "The two of them are enough. The three of you can go in and look for opportunities, but you must be careful," Yang Wu said. The four of them were overjoyed and followed Yang Wu into the palace. The palace was very spacious and had close to 100 buildings. Each building had its own characteristics, and the one in the middle was the most imposing. It was obviously the main palace of the palace. Yang Wu asked them to split up and look for their own opportunities. He also slowly walked toward the main palace. Yang Wu observed carefully and realized that the palace was not destroyed. It was still intact, but he did not know where the original people had gone. Pill Practice Palace. Yang Wu was a little entranced as he stared at the words on the centermost palace. The words did not contain any great Tao. It was just that the words were too ancient and could not have been written by people in the current era. Yang Wu stepped into the palace and saw a statue of Shen Nong enshrined on a table. The offerings on the table had already been taken away by the people in front of him. There were a few statues of unknown people on the left and right. Looking at the medicine cauldrons in front of them, one could imagine that they were top-tier alchemists on par with Shen Nong. No one took these things away. This was a statue of a god. Without the god's approval, taking it away would cause one to be punished by the heavens. Yang Wu looked around the palace and found that aside from these statues, there was nothing else. He sighed softly and said, "Aside from the herbs in the mountain range that can still be picked, there is nothing left in these palaces." Just as Yang Wu was about to leave the palace, his eyes met the statue of Shen Nong. The Shen Nong visualization diagram that he had comprehended in the Inheritance Tower suddenly appeared. Yang Wu saw an unbelievable scene. Shen Nong was tasting hundreds of herbs. Shen Nong was refining pills. Shen Nong was using his own body as medicine. He was doing this to save the people, to help them escape the fire and water, to make them safe from disaster and disease, to strengthen their bodies and cultivate martial arts, to help the human race prosper. He had the heart to save the world and the people, which was why he achieved his supreme alchemy. Using one's own body as medicine is the ultimate alchemy. The moment Yang Wu saw Shen Nong turn his body into a pill, he instantly understood Shen Nong's last words. He was inexplicably shocked and couldn't figure out what it meant. Using one's own body as medicine and even being refined into a pill, what was the ultimate alchemy? If this wasn't a lie, then what was? At the same time, other alchemists also came. They were Xianyuan Shi, Yao Sudong, and Hu Jiuyang from the Xianyuan clan. Their attendants were also dismissed. Xianyuan Shi was a top-tier alchemist with an extremely strong fire aura. Her fiery hair fluttered in the wind, and her eyes were like torches. She only wore a vest that revealed an extremely strong physique. She didn't look like an alchemist at all, but more like a domineering martial artist. Yao Sudong was dressed like a typical alchemist. He wore a robe, and his hands were fiddling with flames from time to time. There was a cold smile on his face, and he didn't look like someone who was easy to get close to. Hua Juyong was obviously younger and gave off an incomparably arrogant feeling. His arrogant eyes and the aura he exuded were like the sun looking down on all living beings. The three top-tier alchemists came together. When they saw Yang Wu, they were all surprised. They originally thought that Yang Wu was the first to set foot in this temple. Who would have thought that he would be one of the first to arrive? The third layer of the mountain range was extremely dangerous. There were even more ferocious creatures around the temple. They had paid a hefty price to get here. Xin Yuan, she only glanced at Yang Wu before her gaze landed on the statues. Yao Sudong smiled and greeted Yang Wu, Saint Master Yang Wu. Yang Wu returned the greeting and replied, Elder Sudong. The two of them had already met in the Alchemist Union, but they had never interacted. I've long heard that Saint Master Yang Wu is the youngest alchemist in history. It seems that hearing about you can't compare to meeting you in person. Hua Jiang looked at Yang Wu with an oppressive gaze. Hua Jiang was a top-tier alchemist from a hidden family and was extremely conceited. Seeing how young Yang Wu was, he couldn't help but feel uncomfortable. Yang Wu returned the greeting. I don't dare. I'll be taking my leave first. What's the rush? You arrived here before us. Did you obtain some amazing inheritance? Why don't you share it with us? Hua Juyang said in an overbearing tone. It was clear at a glance that there was nothing left here other than the statues. Yang Wu was the first to arrive, so he had the highest chance of obtaining the inheritance. Yang Wu replied indifferently. I also came here before you, so I didn't discover anything. After speaking, Yang Wu turned around and left. I don't believe that there isn't an inheritance in such a big hall. It must be on you. Hua Jiang snorted and grabbed at Yang Wu. Hua Jiang had reached the 10th level of the Star Rune realm and was very powerful. His attack was fast and didn't give Yang Wu any chance to escape. Yang Wu's reaction was even faster. Even if his cultivation wasn't as high as Hua Jiang's, his fighting strength was above Hua Jiang's. Bang! The fist and palm collided, and a dull sound rang out. Hua Jiang's palm energy was shattered, and his body was sent flying towards the wall. Pooh! Hua Jiang spat out a mouthful of blood, and his eyes were filled with shock. He was a top-notch saint, someone who stood at the pinnacle of saints. Yet, he was injured by Yang Wu with a single punch. He found it hard to accept. Don't provoke me, Yang Wu coldly replied, and strode out of the main hall. Hua Jiang spat out another mouthful of blood. How many years had it been since someone dared to speak to him like that? Interesting. Xin Yuan, she glanced at the direction Yang Wu left and muttered. Yao Sudong's old eyes flashed with a complicated look, and he sighed in his heart. This kid has grown up. After Yang Wu left the main hall, he sensed the sounds of fighting coming from the other halls. Obviously, his followers had discovered something and were fighting fiercely. Bang! A loud explosion was heard, and two figures were sent flying out. The two men were Jin Yuqin and Jin Yuhao, both of whom had been injured. They were both Kunlun's geniuses and had reached the 2-star rune realm. If they joined hands, they could easily deal with a mid-tier saint. They also had some unknown trump cards that could deal with a high-tier saint. Unexpectedly, they were injured by someone here. Quickly hand over the medicine bottles you obtained, or die. 3 people appeared in front of Jin Yuqin and Jin Yuhao, and one of them shouted coldly. This person had the strength of a top-tier saint, and the 2 people beside him were no weaker than high-tier saints. It was no wonder that Jin Yuqin and Jin Yuhao weren't a match for them. Rin Xiaofeng, Nangong Shiqin, Lu Jingtian, and Wu Ximin were all in the other halls. They weren't with the 2 brothers, and they were looking for opportunities separately. Jin Yuqin and Jin Yuhao were extremely unwilling. The medicine bottles they obtained contained a large amount of high-tier pills. How could they be willing to hand it over? However, if they didn't hand it over, their lives would be in danger. Who gave you the guts to injure my people? Quickly kneel down and apologize, or die. Chapter 12:57. Jin Yuhao and Jin Yuhao were prideful geniuses. They thought that they were invincible after stepping into the Star Rune realm. Now, they realized that they had underestimated the people of the world. The transcendent world was very big, and there were many saints. There were even more powerful saints. Saint Bai Zifen, who had beaten them to a pulp, was even more powerful. A top-notch saint was not much weaker than Ren Xiaofeng and Nangong Shiqin. Bai Zifen and the two people beside him were Hu Jiuyang's followers. Yang Wu had just clashed with Hu Jiuyang in the main hall, but they didn't expect that the followers of both sides would clash outside the side hall. Bai Zifen and his two companions looked at Yang Wu. A cold smile appeared on their faces as they said, "You're Yang Wu?" The news of Yang Wu showing off had already spread in the Medicine God Palace, but there weren't many people who saw it with their own eyes. Bai Zifen and the others didn't think that Yang Wu would be so terrifying after he grew up. When they saw how young Yang Wu was, they didn't believe that Yang Wu was so powerful. He was an 11-star rune realm cultivator. He was already considered a top existence in the Medicine God Palace. He didn't fear anyone, including Yang Wu. How strong could a sane alchemist be? Yang Wu ignored Bai Zifen and went to Jin Yuhao and Jin Yuhao. "Are you all right?" Jin Yuhao said guiltily, "Saint Master Yang Wu, we have embarrassed you." After a pause, he took out a medicine bottle and said, "This is a bottle of pills we found in the side hall." As Yang Wu's followers, the things they found in the Medicine God Palace should be handed over to Yang Wu. Of course, if they didn't hand it over, Yang Wu couldn't blame them. This was an opportunity that belonged to them. Yang Wu took the medicine bottle and found that it wasn't an ordinary medicine bottle, but a universe medicine bottle. It contained many pills, and the quality wasn't low. The value was extraordinary. "How dare you touch my medicine bottle? Kill them," Bai Zifen said sternly. Yang Wu threw the medicine bottle back to Jin Yuhao and said, "This is your opportunity. Take it well. This young master doesn't lack pills." Although most of the elixirs in the bottle were saint elixirs, such as Star Elixir, Star Mark Elixir, Bone-Forming Elixir, and Extreme Wing Elixir, Yang Wuzhen didn't care about them. He was a top-notch saint alchemist. What kind of sacred pill could he not refine? Moreover, he had completed the Union Alchemists Alliance mission. The pills in the bottle were more valuable than the pills in the bottle. In the bottle. And Jin Yuhao. Yuhao, who were also surprised, were shocked. He was shocked. Who were. At the same time, the two high-level saints by Zifen's side attacked Yang Wu, Jin Yuhao, and Jin Yuhao. One of them held a fiery hammer and smashed it down on Yang Wu's head. The hammer was like a falling star, and its power was shocking. The other person wielded a thin sword and stabbed out twice, aiming at Jin Yuhao and Jin Yuhao respectively. He wanted to kill them both in one move. Hu Jiuyang, who had just walked out of the main hall, saw this scene and screamed, "Don't be impudent." But he was too late. Yang Wu had already made his move. Yang Wu was like an ordinary martial artist. He slowly threw out a punch. There was no power behind it, but the heaven and earth collapsed at this moment. Bang! With a punch, the hammer exploded, the sword was broken, and the two people were sent flying. Such a heaven-shattering punch was truly frightening. The two people smashed into the ancient wall, and blood kept spurting out. Their eyes were wide open, and looking at their shattered hearts, there was a strong sense of unwillingness. They were killed just like that. When their breaths were cut off, they couldn't believe that this was reality. Bai Zifen took a deep breath. Looking at his dead subordinates, he felt a chill run down his spine. He could also kill these two subordinates in one move, but that was under the premise that he used his ultimate move. Otherwise, it would take him 3 moves to kill them. Yang Wu was able to kill them with such a simple punch. His strength was most likely not weaker than him, or even above him. Yang Wu took another step forward and threw another punch at Bai Zifen. Boxing was like refining pills. It simplified the complicated, and its power was even stronger. "Kill!" Bai Zifen had no way out. He shouted, and his hands formed a seal to attack Yang Wu. Mother-child fiend seal. The large and small fiendish chi seal collided with Yang Wu's fist and a large amount of Saint Chi surged. The fiendish Chi seal was shattered, and Bai Ziffin was sent flying into the side hall. It was unknown whether he was dead or alive. Hua Jiang hurried forward and begged for mercy. Saint Master Yang Wu, please have mercy. We admit our mistake. Hua Jiang wasn't afraid that Bai Ziffin would be killed, but he was afraid that he would be implicated because of Bai Ziffin. Yang Wu was too strong. How was this guy an alchemist? He was simply a boorish brute. Yang Wu withdrew his fist and looked at Hua Jiang. Your people? Hua Jiang nodded and waved his hand. Saint Master Yang Wu, don't misunderstand. Although they are my people, I didn't order them to deal with you. I swear to the heavens. In this world, he didn't have the courage to challenge Yang Wu unless he was tired of living. Amen. I don't think you have the courage to do so. Yang Wu nodded in response. He paused for a moment, then said, Tell me, how do you want to apologize? Hua Jiang was speechless. He had already apologized, and now he still wanted compensation? Yao Sudong walked out and said, Saint Master Yang Wu, let's forget about this matter. Brother Jiuyang is also a peak saint elder of our alchemist union. The fire tribe has a close relationship with our union, and we're all family. Yao Sudong wanted to be the mediator. The fire tribe didn't have a close relationship with the alchemist union, but they had the best relationship with the medicine sect. Many of their disciples studied alchemy in the medicine sect. The fire tribe was a hidden family, and they weren't any weaker than the 8 great battle tribes. This was why Yao Sudong was willing to stand up for Hua Jiang. Yang Wu turned to look at Yao Sudong and smiled. Elder Sudong, are you willing to compensate for him? Yao Sudong was choked by Yang Wu's words. He was only a mediator. What did he say he would compensate for Hua Jiang? It's better to squash enmity than keep it alive. Brother Jiuyang is a member of the fire tribe, and your Yang family can't afford to offend him. Yao Sudong took advantage of his seniority. Oh, I killed the alchemists of the Purple Firmament Hall and King of Hell's Hall. How can the fire tribe compare to them? Yang Wu replied calmly. Hua Jiang was so scared that he almost peed his pants. I'll compensate. I'll compensate. Saint Master Yang Wu, how do you want me to compensate? I'll accept it. Hua Jiang didn't want to die. He had heard that Yang Wu had killed the alchemists of these major powers, but he didn't want to believe it. Now, he had no choice but to believe it. That depends on your sincerity. Yang Wu replied indifferently. He didn't care about the compensation, but he wanted to tell these people that Yang Wu's people weren't to be bullied. In the end, the cowardly Hua Jiang took out a mid-grade high-grade Saint Vane in exchange for his life. A mid-grade high-grade Saint Vane was worth 1,000,000 cubes, so it wasn't a high price. Xin Yuan, she also walked out of the main hall and saw Yang Wu take away Hua Jiang's Saint Vane. She shook her head and said, What a disgrace to the name of a saint alchemist. Yang Wu didn't care at all and brought Jin Yuhao and Jin Yuhao to find the others. Soon, Ren Xiaofeng, Nangong Shiqin, Lu Jingtian, and Wu Simin all returned. Ren Xiaofeng found a damaged sky-piercing saint robe in a side hall. It was hidden very well, but it was still discovered by Ren Xiaofeng. The power of the array there had already lost its effect, so he took it. Originally, there were some other valuable items there, but they were all taken away by others. Those people's strength wasn't inferior to Ren Xiaofeng, so he stopped while he was ahead. Nangong Shiqin found a piece of 10,000-year-old black goldwood. Its value wasn't inferior to Ren Xiaofeng's sky-piercing saint robe, and it was a divine wood that gold-profound qi cultivators yearned for. Lu Jingtian only found a broken copper plate. There were some ancient words recorded on the copper plate, and it should be an extraordinary secret technique. Unfortunately, it was too damaged. Wu Simin was the only one who didn't find anything. Yang Wu didn't even ask for their treasures. Instead, Lu Jingtian kept asking for his copper plate. My lord, please accept it. Lu Jingtian pleaded. Among the few of them, Lu Jingtian's loyalty was the lowest. When Yang Wu came out from the third inheritance tower, he was besieged by the others. Only Lu Jingtian wanted to escape. Now, he was trying to curry favor with Yang Wu in order to save his impression in Yang Wu's heart. Moreover, he felt that the copper plate wasn't valuable, so he didn't mind giving it to Yang Wu as a sign of his loyalty. Yang Wu didn't want to accept Lu Jingtian's copper plate, but he still accepted it after hesitating for a while. This copper plate might have other secrets. After they walked to the various halls, they found a herb garden. Unfortunately, there weren't many herbs left in this large herb garden. They must have been harvested by the alchemists who came in the previous few times. Even the saint mine had been taken away, and it looked extremely desolate. A herb garden for 100 miles. How extravagant. Yang Wu sighed. Just as they were about to leave, they sensed some movement in the depths of the herb garden, so they quickly rushed over. Haha, there are still many herbs here, and they are all high-grade saint herbs. We're rich. Someone cried out. They're all ours. Let's get them away quickly. Another person shouted. There was indeed a herb garden in front of these people. The area of this herb garden was not very large, only taking up 5 acres of land. However, there were still many high-grade sacred herbs planted in it, and waves of medicinal fragrance wafted in all directions. These people weren't able to enter the herb garden immediately. There was a powerful array around the herb garden, and they had to break the array to obtain the saint herbs. When Yang Wu and the rest came closer, they saw them activating their powers to break the array around the herb garden. Suddenly, a huge creature appeared and swallowed them into its stomach with terrifying power. They didn't even have the chance to scream. It's a demon god. My lord, let's leave quickly. Chapter 1258. Roar. It was a huge earth dragon that was 50,000 feet long. Its thick dragon body was covered with layers of shining scales. Waves of soaring demon chi swept out in all directions. The earth dragon was not a real dragon, but some earth dragons could awaken powerful talents after being stained with dragon blood. The earth dragon in front of him had lived for God knows how long and had finally become a demon god-level earth dragon. The saints who had wanted to take the herb garden had all become food in the stomach of this earth dragon. It was obvious how terrifying it was. Other than Yang Wu and the others who were shocked, Xinyuan Shi, Yao Shuri, Hua Juyang, and the others who had rushed over from other directions were also shocked. They saw that the herb garden in front of them had been dug out by others and thought that there should be no danger in this place. They never expected that there would be such a terrifying existence. However, they did not leave immediately. They had already united all of their followers, thinking about whether or not they should kill this earth dragon and fight for that piece of medicine garden. After thousands of years, food has come to my door again. I'm so hungry. The earth dragon revealed a ferocious expression and shouted. It drilled into the ground and disappeared. When it rushed out again, it was already at the feet of Yang Wu and the others. Let's go. Yang Wu reacted quickly. He bound the people around him with Saint Chi and quickly led them away. The earth dragon pounced on empty air, and its huge mouth spat out a burst of mud towards Yang Wu and the others. The power of a demon god level was terrifying. Its powerful momentum could even kill a top saint. The black tortoise armor on Yang Wu's body floated. His body quickly grew and forcibly removed the flood of mud. His body was still shaken and kept retreating. The people he was protecting were also sent flying far away. All of you, get away from here. I will fight with him, Yang Wu shouted excitedly. After Yang Wu entered the medicine god temple, his mood was not very good. He felt that the medicine god temple was not as exciting as the legend said. It was only when he reached the 3rd floor that he was pleasantly surprised, especially when he saw the herb garden and the earth dragon. It was a little challenging for him. What kind of divine ability is this? Xinyuan, she exclaimed when she saw the enlarged Yang Wu. Maybe it's some kind of secret technique. Its aura is too strong, Yao Sudong said with a frown. Hua Juyang couldn't help sighing inwardly. Luckily, I didn't offend that fellow to death. What a monster. Yang Wu rushed over and clashed with the earth dragon. Barbaric god's arm. Yang Wu swung out his huge arms, which contained amazing power, and broke through the force of the earth dragon's breath. He continued to smash towards the earth dragon. The earth dragon felt Yang Wu's powerful aura and didn't dare to underestimate him. He roared and whipped his tail. Earth dragon tail whip. The domineering tail broke through space and landed on Yang Wu's arm. They collided. Bang! Yang Wu's second stage talent was still no match for the Earth Dragon's power. He was knocked back hundreds of feet, and his arm was numb. If a half-step Tongtian elite had been hit by the Earth Dragon's attack, not only would their arm be broken, but their body would also explode. Awesome. Again! Yang Wu shouted excitedly. His huge body moved, and he arrived in front of the Earth Dragon in an instant. His leg was wrapped in wind blade energy as it kicked at the Earth Dragon. The Earth Dragon rose up, and earth and stone formed a thick defense. Not only did it block Yang Wu's attack, but it also suppressed Yang Wu. Yang Wu's completed holy body was no weaker than the Tongtian realm's power, and it wasn't weaker than the Earth Dragon's. Although there was still a gap, it could be closed with his talent. The two creatures were fighting crazily. Yang Wu used his fists and feet to beat the Earth Dragon. The Earth Dragon used its body as an iron wall to attack Yang Wu. It even wanted to coil around Yang Wu's body and kill Yang Wu. Their power wreaked havoc in this part of the world, causing dust and dirt to fly everywhere. The people nearby kept retreating, not daring to get close. Xinyuan, Shi, Yao Sudong, and the others all realized that Yang Wu's combat power was strong. It was comparable to god-level power. They couldn't fight with Yang Wu for the herb garden. Xinyuan, she turned around and left. Although the herb garden was precious, there might be more precious things in other places. Yao Sudong and Hua Danyang didn't stay. Although they had trump cards to deal with everything, they didn't want to take the risk for a herb garden. They might as well go elsewhere to see if there were better discoveries. Brother, do we still have hope of catching up with Yang Wu? Jin Haoyu asked Jin Haochen. Jin Haochen laughed at himself and said, I'm afraid there won't be any hope in the next 100 years. They had been unhappy that Jin Xiu had arranged for them to follow Yang Wu. They were geniuses in the top 100 of the Heavenly Dragon Roll, and they had hopes of becoming Tongtian realm experts in the future. It was too embarrassing to be someone else's follower. They had always wanted to catch up with Yang Wu, or even surpass Yang Wu, and break free from Yang Wu's restraints. Now that they saw Yang Wu going all out, they felt despair. If he was a freak, how could they surpass him? Rin Xiaofeng, Nangong Shiqin, Lu Jingtian, and Wu Ximin all had their own thoughts. In front of them, the battle between Yang Wu and the Earth Dragon was getting more and more intense. Yang Wu punched the Earth Dragon 3 times, and each punch left a huge fist mark on the Earth Dragon. He did not have an easy time either. The black tortoise armor was almost smashed by the Earth Dragon, and he was almost swallowed by the Earth Dragon. The Earth Dragon's strength was too great, and it was worthy of being a god-tier spirit demon. If Yang Wu had not cultivated a divine constitution, he would not have been able to withstand one of the Earth Dragon's attacks. Human, you've angered me. If you don't get lost, I'll definitely eat you, the Earth Dragon roared in human language. He could not do anything to this human, and he did not want to fight with him anymore. His duty was only to guard the last herb garden in front of him. That was his last source of food. I haven't had enough yet. If you submit to me, I'll take you away from here, Yang Wu replied, and he continued to use his wind god's legs. Wind blade explosion. This was the leg technique that Yang Wu had comprehended. Coupled with his innate power, streaks of leg radiance crazily attacked the Earth Dragon's body like wind blades. The Earth Dragon's defensive power was astonishing, but its scales were still scraped off by the wind blades, and blood seeped out. The Earth Dragon was furious. I'll eat you, engulfing heaven and earth. The Earth Dragon's body grew a lot bigger, and its mouth became bigger and bigger. A terrifying, devouring power enveloped Yang Wu. Yang Wu and the soil around him kept flying into its mouth. This suction force was too strong, and even Yang Wu could not withstand it. Just as Yang Wu was about to be swallowed by the Earth Dragon, heart fire flew out of his heart and into the Earth Dragon's mouth. Let's see if you have the ability to refine my heart fire. Yang Wu laughed. During this period of time, Blue Demonis had already refined the power of the lightning fire ditch fire from the Thunder Mountains. It was infinitely close to a god-tier fire, and it was born with an immortal fire seed. At this stage, it was not inferior to any god-tier fire. When it fell into the Earth Dragon's mouth, it turned into a huge black tortoise. Dense flames burned in the earth dragon's mouth, and the shocking flames could even burn a mountain range. The earth dragon was indeed a god-tier spirit beast. Demonic chi floated in its body, and it suppressed blue demoness flames. At the same time, it surged with murderous earth chi, wanting to completely eliminate blue demoness. I'm the god-tier fire, and I'll burn everything in the world. Blue demoness intelligence had already been activated, and it no longer held back. It unleashed all of its flames, and the dense flames finally hurt the earth dragon. Roar! Roar! The earth dragon roared and kept spitting flames, wanting to get blue demoness out. Moreover, it was spitting flames in the direction of Yangwu. While escaping from danger, it did not forget to counterattack Yangwu. This earth dragon was really cunning. Yangwu shrunk his body and returned to his normal height. His aura had shrunk quite a bit. He continuously dodged the earth dragon's attacks and used the supreme 9 Mysteries formula to absorb the starlight from the Emperor's star to recover his strength. Surrender, and I'll spare your life. Yangwu sensed that blue demoness was completely unleashing its power inside the earth dragon's body. Victory was in sight. Roar! Don't even think about it. The earth dragon was still very stubborn. It directly dived into the ground and continued to fight against blue demoness. However, not long after, it charged out again with flames all over its body and begged for mercy. I'm willing to surrender. I'm willing to surrender. Blue demoness, come back. Yangwu smiled and summoned blue demoness back. A ball of dark blue flames seeped out of the earth dragon's body and condensed into a mini black tortoise. It directly dived into Yangwu's heart. The flames on the earth dragon's body all disappeared. Quite a bit of its body was burnt. It was clearly very heavily injured. However, this guy did not really surrender. Instead, it turned around and dived into the ground, leaving behind a threat: I'll definitely eat you. Yangwu did not stop the earth dragon from leaving. He smiled. This place is about to be destroyed. You'll only die if you stay here. Why don't you come with me? I'll open up another herb garden in the outside world. You can eat whatever you want as long as you loosen the soil. Yangwu realized that the soil in this place was very good. It was not much worse than the sacred secret soil. This earth dragon could absorb the spiritual energy of heaven and earth. It could also loosen the soil and help the herbs absorb the nutrients quickly. He wanted to bring this earth dragon out. The earth dragon could escape for a while, but it could not escape forever. This herb garden would be his, so he was not afraid that the earth dragon would not escape. Sir, you even chased the earth dragon away. Nangong Shiqin exclaimed. Yes, let's call him Lord in the future. We can't be separated anymore. Rin Xiaofeng sighed softly. From calling Yangwu sage teacher to sir and now to lord, their mentality was constantly changing. They already had the intention to submit to Yangwu. A god-tier earth dragon was defeated by Yangwu. Was such an invincible young man not worthy of their loyalty? Unless they were blind. Lord, Lu Jingtian is willing to serve you. Lu Jingtian exclaimed and took the lead to rush toward Yangwu. However, when the earth dragon broke out of the ground again, he immediately turned around and ran.